Yo, what up, people? What up, what up? What up? Wipe your feet, man. Wipe your feet. Pop-up shop, baby. Lunchcast. Wipe your feet. Y'all know what to do. Hit that thumbs up button and wipe your feet when you come in, and let's talk, baby. It's real football heads time. I can't wait to talk to my people. Dragonfly Jones in the building. David Johnson in the building. Aaron Pennington in the building. Thank you. He said he loved that hat. That's hard. Where we at? Joe Alexander in the building. Jameer Bingham in the building. Myron says his feet white. B. Honcho says what's good. Hit the thumbs up button for your boy, man. Let's go. Lunchcast. Pat, what's up, man? Thank you for being a member. That's hard. Tony B in the building. What up? Brad says done and done. Wipe them feet, baby. Let's talk some football with your boy, the Underground King. Where we at, man? Eddie Sewell in the building. Coke in the building. What up, Coke? Don Nog in the building. Wavy DC in the building. He hit the thumbs up. JT Money done hit the building from Florida. There's only one JT Money I know from Florida. That was a cat with the Poison Clan. Grew with the Poison Clan. Let's get it. Better read in here cheerleading. Like, come on, fam. You're in the wrong stream. There's plenty of knockoff mercs. A bunch of knockoff mercs popping up, I've noticed. LSU Super Chat says, Conley, let's get it. Polo in the building. I need Polo in the building, too, because I need to talk some Clemson. Polo, man, you seen the latest Clemson, John? I put out about an hour ago or whatever. Alex says, that's hard. Greg Glaze, he in the building. You know he gone. He already gone, right? What time is it? It's about 2 o'clock, so he been drinking about, 3-4 hours? Polo said he just got done watching and comment. That's what I'm talking about, man. Marco Polo will always be on it, man. You gotta love Marco Polo. Dude says, so you're calling me a cheerleader, and then he put the things up. Anybody want to block him? Like who? Like we all take turns. Should we block this guy or not? Let's go. Yep, we should definitely block him. So he's gone. What up, Brian? Everybody come in here talk football tonight, and we don't need all this go this and go that. We talking football, real football head stuff. Marcus says that new video is fire. Where we at? Let's go. We got another cheerleader in the building. None of this go stuff. I know you guys just heard me say that shit, so you just want to be blocked, right? Get him. Somebody get him. Let's get him. All right. J-Dog in the building. Come on, man. Let's get them thumbs up. I don't know what the thumbs up count is because I'm on this software. Man, I need to figure out a way to look at that. Pink slipped in less than 3 minutes. That's hard. Anybody ever got fired that fast? Polo, Clemson don't play nobody. People don't know how to watch technique, skill, scheming personnel, says Marco Polo. All right, so I want to know everybody's honest opinions about Clemson out there. What do you guys think? So 19, that's it? Oh, man, we struggling. I'm not sure if I like this new software. I'm not sure if it pushes it out to people either. Best football content on the internet is right here on this channel, says Pat. Thank you, Pat, my man, and he's a member. Make sure you're a member, man. Be like Pat and these boys, man. All kinds of people hopping on and showing love to your boy, man. I can't wait to get on that members-only content, right? When the off-season is popping, that's when that members-only content is going to really come in hand right there, right? Have the members-only live streams and different rewards for people who are members of the channel. So that's going to be real good. Hey, let me know how I'm sounding on the mic, though, man. I was running a little hot last time. Is the mic good? Brian says, what I think about Marcus Roseman. You got to be on patreon.com/committed to the G, man. I've been did stuff on Marcus Roseman. I think he's a very, very, man, I really like his route running ability, but I love his aggressiveness and his ability. Maybe be one of those good yard after catch guys, right? I think Georgia needs one of those guys. Pair him up with the George Pickens and maybe some of these other guys that get in class. It's going to be dope. Coach said it sounds good. All right. Let's go. Sink in the house? Sink Zappa? What's that? I want to say it's Sink. I don't want to call someone else. What's your take on J.R. Reed? Why isn't he more respected? J.R. Reed, he's not more respected because he's not making a flashy play. Like J.R. Reed is a better football player than Richard LeCounte, but Richard LeCounte looks flashy out there running around. You ever seen J.R. Reed lay somebody out? No, he don't do that. Richard LeCounte been laid out 50 million times, but he'll lay somebody out every blue moon as well, and people are going to focus on stuff like that. So people don't like these meat and potato type guys. A guy like J.R. Reed, to me, I would love to play with a dude like that. Pause. That was a big pause right there. For the simple fact that I can just rely and count on him, right? I know that if he's going to bring maximum effort, but he's going to bring maximum technique as well, right? So hick stick and rapping and rolling and everything like that. That's what J.R. Reed specializes in, right? Get up under the buttocks, pause, drive. He's about sure tackling. He's about taking proper angles and everything like that. He's not some wild man out there, but wild men and stuff like that, those guys get the most publicity. People love stuff that's flashy, man. A lot of people just don't like stuff that's based on substance, right? So it's usually style over substance, and that's what I take on that. I think J.R. Reed is a fantastic player, but he'll never get his just due, probably until he reaches the NFL. A guy like him will be on the New England Patriots, play about 10, 12 years. Nobody ever talk about him. He'll just be solid. LeCounte chased down J. Jeff. Dude can fly. That's all he can do. Yeah, Justin Jefferson is not that fast. What was his 40 time? It was something crazy, like a 4.8 or something like that. That is, I am the captain now. I am the captain now. Rubber band man with that. I am the captain now. Like, come on, fam. You 160 pounds. Why you don't just wrap up? 465. 465 says who? You know what I'm saying? Let me verify that, Con. Let me get the see if he ran at the opening. Jermaine Burton for the flip to UGA. Yeah, I don't know about all that, bro. You're on the wrong channel, man. Don't ask me about favorite teams and stuff like that. What is that going to do for you? Talk to me about football. Let's talk football. I wanted to talk about Chad Morris. I was going to actually do something on that and give it its own deal. You know I'm going to have to go around and do all this coaching changes stuff and do the schemes and everything like that. Chad Morris to Auburn is perfect. It feels like that's a match made in heaven. Every time I think about Chad Morris, I always think about Gus Malzahn. It's like they're the same people. Like they running a lot of the same concepts, right? I think maybe a little bit more of an evolution for Chad Morris's version, but they always, to me, I'm like, damn. These dudes need to be together, you know what I'm saying? No, you know what I'm saying? Pause, you know what I mean? But very similar in the way they like to get stuff done. I think that's gonna be fantastic, man. That is gonna be fantastic, man. I love it for the prodigy. Come on, man. Auburn ain't no joke as it is. Let's get it, man. Who are some of the players that could be flying under the radar / X factors for the playoffs? Shaun Wade. Shaun Wade is going to be an X factor, right? Everybody's trying to work out of the slot, work the middle of the field. A guy like Shaun Wade at Ohio State. I've been waiting to talk about this dude in the entire season because I was like, man, who can match up with like a Justin Jefferson in the slot, or who can match up with a like a Justin Ross in the slot, or you know what I'm saying? All these teams have these good, or if they throw CD Lamb in the slot, or whoever they got in the slot like that, right? Slot work these days is extremely underrated. That's why you can see a lot of these big time statistical pile-ups, just because people cannot defend slot receivers, right? Because they're putting different kind of players in the slot nowadays, and even the players traditionally that they've used, they're extremely hard to defend. Your Hunter Renfrow types and stuff like that. So got to work that slot work, force people to throw outside the numbers, because a lot of people just cannot throw outside the numbers. The Pig Sports Show says, what do you think Oklahoma has done in recruiting? You mean like, do I like Oklahoma's recruiting? Or were you talking about the 2020 class? Like, you're going to have to be a little bit more specific to that. I think Zach Evans is overrated. UGA could live well without him. Why is he? Well, nobody would never ever let me get up on the internet and just make an opinion without backing something up, right? So if I'm wrong on something, you cannot say that I didn't do my due diligence in trying to explain myself. If it goes wrong, I can live with that shit because I have some substance behind it. So I want to know how you think Zach Evans is overrated. What's my PayPal? You never trusted Super Chats? Only 500 people done Super Chatted, bro. Why you don't trust it? The email it should be right there on the is it not right there on the screen? Right under the shirts right there, man. Payment to mindofmurph@gmail.com. I appreciate you though, bro. YouTube alias, what that mean? I'm confused by Marco Polo right now. What's wrong with Marco Polo? This is alias and shit like that. Marco Polo, a mobster. He on no witness protection. Has a big blue P. There you go. Yeah. I didn't even think about that. I was looking at that one. You see that P right there? It says mindofmurph@gmail.com. It's really actually pretty big on the screen. Even I didn't forgot about that. Come on, Marco. You on witness protection and can't read. What recruiting site do you use, Murph? The fuck kind of question is that? I'm confused by that. I mean, what recruiting sites do they use on me? I don't need to use anything in this business, bro. You're gonna have to do your homework, fam. I've been in this business six something years. I got better contacts than anyone in the business. I don't have to use anybody like that. I'm actually feel low key disrespected if somebody would ever even ask me something like that. Do you not watch this channel? Very confused by that. Everybody should know my history on stuff like that. That's nothing that I have to ever use in this business. I don't have to. I don't have to go outside of myself to do anything, right? I got a network of trusted confidants and people like that, bro. He only thinks Evans is overrated because he possibly might not come to UGA. Don't bash the kids because they ain't going to your favorite school. Where's the what was his reply on that? Eric says, Murph, love the film analysis videos. They're not just informative, but funny as hell. Keep grinding. Damn, I'm low key. I'm still pissed off about that question right there. What are you talking about, fam? You don't know me? You just popped on a live stream or something like that? What we doing here? You know what I'm saying? Don't you realize that I worked at these sites? This is where I come from. Appreciate it, Eric. Let's go. Clemson beats OU by 21. I'm not sure about all of that. Not sure about all that. Let's give respects to Ohio State, though. Ohio State is extremely, extremely talented. Javion Cohen from where? You're going to have to really scoop me on some of these 2020 kids like that, right? You know what I'm saying? Because you guys be asking me about kids all over the country. I'm not some type of super recruiting expert. I have a whole bunch of great relationships where I can break news and everything like that. But you're going to have to at least fill your boy in on stuff. There's all kinds of kids that I have to know about, man. But my thing is breaking down film. That's my thing right there. Supporting movement, got to go back to work. I'll watch. Damn, Maurice, you always pop in for 2 seconds, bro. I appreciate you, though, Maurice. Holla at your boy a little bit later on the site. Murph got the connection. That's why you come to Ty Billin in the first place. That is true. That is true. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I got that. I just got the notification on my watch. I appreciate that, Marco Polo. Thank you. I should have not put recruiting on that, right? Like I don't cover the entire scope of recruiting from every single team in the country. I'm not sure about that. Marco said he ain't gonna lie, he ain't seen all that big ass PayPal. Is there anything Matt likes to bring to the table that Sam Pittman didn't? No, they're both position coaches, right? So I'm not sure. I've seen some people, like somebody commented on patreon.com/committed to the G site that he hoped Matt Luke would bring portions of the playbook from Hugh Freeze and stuff like that. And I'm like, he's a position coach. He has nothing to do with any type of input like that. If that was the case, they would let him coordinate the offense, right? So it's going to be whoever's the coordinator, right? That would be like saying you hope Sam Pittman had brought something to the table as far as the offensive structure goes. He didn't. He has to run whatever Jim Chaney wanted to run, and he had to run whatever as far as the blocking schemes. They set the schemes and the protections. He teaches them. That's how position coaches go, right? So he's no different than a wide receiver coach or whomever like that doesn't have a coordinator tag to him. He's the offensive line coach. Did they give him a bigger title than that, or he's just offensive line coach? Let me know. Ty Billin has been spot for real. He's for real shit. He's one of the people who probably does this shit, not his publicity. I'm going to have to read that again. Ty Billin has been spot for real shit. He's one of the only people who really does that shit, not just the publicity is what you're trying to say? Nah, man, this is what I do, fam. I'm 6-7 years in the business, man. I'm creating clones and all kinds of shit, man. Wish Jordan Burch would talk to the media more. Great athlete. Jordan Burch is definitely somebody to pay attention to right there. I think he can probably make or break a class, man. I really like what I see from him, especially if somehow he ends up in a 4-man front. So I like to assistant head coach. Yeah, so that means he's an offensive line. I mean, he's an offensive line coach. When you see a title of assistant head coach and all that shit like that, that means he's just an offensive line coach or he's just a position coach. They'll do that shit to kind of placate it and make him feel a little bit better that he was literally just a head coach. Now he's back to being a position coach. So Burgess to the Cox on a four-man front. There it goes. There's a fake Murph Baldwin somewhere. What you think, bro? You better look at my history. Everywhere I go and everything I do, something, if I've done it a while, especially if it's in the public eye and I'm not behind a paywall like when I was at Rivals or Scout or some shit like that, people going to always pop up and try to copy what I do. That's just what it is. D4 Domination. Thank you for the super chat. Young Coke, thank you for the super chat as always. Sports says, first-time viewer, great informative channel, subscribe. Dang, from the live chat, you ain't seen nothing, bro. The live chat is not nothing. This is you got to watch them film studies, bro. That's what it is, but I appreciate it. Arister says, top billing to ya. Keep up the great work. You need more recognition for what you do. I got plenty of recognition, baby. It's called financial stability. That's my recognition right there. I don't need the accolades in that manner from just people talking about me. And believe me, people are watching it, and the numbers say that everybody's watching, so it's all good. Ringo to Georgia. All right, so what do you guys think about Keely Ringo? Honestly, give me an honest assessment on that right there, right? Because these are all guys that I've had to do at patreon.com, committed to the G-Pause, evaluations on and everything like that. And let's say that my man has had some suspect moments in some of these big-time moments as far as some of these camps go, right? It's hard to really say something about a guy like Keely Ringo from the competition that he plays out in Arizona. And so I need to see him around like competition. And he had a pretty bad showing at the Rivals camp. So I would like to see more in that manner. I want to see if he's truly a college cornerback, right? I've had other evaluators that I trust tell me that he may be best served as even an outside linebacker, right? He's a pretty big kid. A lot of these outside linebackers are his size in high school, and they get bigger in college, right? So playing him at a cornerback spot, I think he's more of a safety. I think he will be a dope safety. Tons of straight line speed right there. Track athlete, one of the fastest cats you'll see. But you never know how people transition, right? But so we've seen that with Tyson Campbell. I noticed a lot of people weren't talking to me about Tyson Campbell anymore. When on the lead up to this, and people was like, Murph, you saw the improvement in Tyson Campbell and this and that. I'm like, well, shit, it's a small sample size because they're not really targeting him. I was like, he will get targeted against LSU, and he did, boy, did he. Elias Ricks is nasty. Love me some Elias Ricks too, man. Long cat like that, pause. In a scheme like that. So Dave Aranda, right? For a second there, man, it was looking a little dicey. I'm like, man, my Dave Aranda impression is going to have to go away because he's going to be the head coach at UNLV. But, man, they gave it to Marcus Arroyo's, another cat that I knew a little bit on the in the recruiting process. Oregon's offensive coordinator. He was the running backs coach at one particular point in time. So when I was marketing Steele Chambers, a running back who ended up at Ohio State, he was one of the points of references for me for Oregon. And he's just a bright football mind. I think he was at Oklahoma State before or something like that. So shout outs to Coach Arroyo getting that job at UNLV. But Dave Aranda impressions get a chance to stay, right? Hi, Murph. You like the way I coordinate defense? All right. Dave waiting for a better West Coast job. That's good. That's good. Marcus says Murph got that intellect. Hey, baby, that's what it's about. If it's not about anything, it's about the intellect for sure. Justin Flo, I like a lot. Justin Flo is one of these, he's one of these pillar, right? He's one of these guys, these alpha male type cats, right? No matter where he been, like he was at some of the Future 50 events and stuff when I was working pretty heavily on the recruiting scene. And he's he's one of them dudes, right? You got to always have one of them KJ Britt types and stuff like that. He reminds me of like a KJ Britt type. Where he's going, no matter what, he's going to make his presence felt, whether it be through physicality or whether it be through his mouthpiece, right? Pause. But he got some really unique traits to him. His size, I don't know. It's like, where do you play him at, right? Is he athletic enough to be a weak side player? If he plays in a 3-4 defense, is he long enough? You know what I'm saying? Somebody give me the height and weight on Justin Flo according to his 247 profile. Mo says Zach Evans to LSU. That's hard. Is Mikael Sherman an inside or outside linebacker? The answer to that question is he's both. He is both, so wherever they want to play him at. So Robert Bill transferring, obviously that opens up a spot in the outside linebacker room. It's not like Robert Bill was going to play. And there are technically, right, there are no departures to be had on the outside linebacker for the University of Georgia. So really in the inside linebacker, you got Tay Crowder, right, could leave. I doubt Monty Rice would leave, right? But stranger things have happened. We saw an old boy leave back in the day that didn't get drafted, who was a really good linebacker, Rennie Curran, right? So you just never know how these things work out. But, like, man, I don't know. I just don't see an immediate playing time spot for him. However, right, you got to look at these transfers. What happens to a guy like Channing Tindall? Channing Tindall, right, has definitely been passed. Is he the next on the docket book, right? Because you see Nakobe Dean out there playing, right? If Monty Rice comes back, the best player to me is Quay Walker, right? You got to give him more, right? To me, he should just step up and replace Tay Crowder. Where does that leave a guy like Channing Tindall? Is he happy with being like some kind of third down package guy, but really not even being that, right? When they really needed him in the LSU game, right? They put other people in that spot to spy, like an Adam Anderson, right? I thought Channing Tindall is the one with the wheels. Adam Anderson is that as well, but you would think that he would at least get that type of chance. He didn't even really get that. So what happens to a guy like that, you just never know. So, but wherever they put him at, I think he's just one of those combination players. He can play off ball or he can play on the line of scrimmage. Float to Miami. Paul says Jermaine Johnson is overrated. If you know what I'm saying, when I say stuff like that, people are like, Murph, why you say stuff like that? I ain't gonna say he's overrated, but I'm gonna say that he was a little overhyped, right? He looks to me more like what he was coming out of high school than more what they described him to be at a junior college. This dude says Jermaine Johnson isn't overrated. And how? Is he not? Like, tell me exactly what he's done, right? Is he some type of, like, what is he? Like, what has he done, right? Go look at guys like Greg Rousseau and some of these guys, like the JUCO kid from Ole Miss, right? That kid is making a super impact getting the quarterback on the ground, while your boy Jermaine Johnson getting free rushes, right? He got that free rush, that sack. Did he get another one the rest of the season? He probably has like 2 sacks, man. Sometimes it's okay to say that your player didn't live up to expectations, but that doesn't mean that he's trash or anything like that. But saying that someone is overrated doesn't necessarily mean you think they're trash. He had a lot of hype coming in, so you got to respect that. How do I see UGA doing next year? Damn, fam, we just December 12th. We're already talking that. Eric Gilbert, the best player in America. Hey, I don't know. I threw up in my mouth when Coach K said Zach Evans to Texas A&M. Hey, man, he could be wrong, though, so it is what it is. That's one man's opinion. Jermaine Johnson hasn't made a lot of progression, not fast, missed sacks. There you go. That's a solid evaluation on him. Like, these guys, like, they get in their feelings. Like, he plays for my team. I can't let him do it. Solid player, you need role players sometimes. Yeah, he's a role player. There you go. But he was not built as a role player. He was built as a franchise player. Evans announced a commit date. I think he's going to commit at Under Armour, right? So that would be definitely a good thing to get Coach K on, right? Because he's on the Under Armour committee. He works for Under Armour for that game. James Cook transfer. Why would he transfer, man? You go out to lose 2 backs. Now it's your turn to step up. You're the next man up. I don't think he would transfer. I don't think he should transfer, but I don't know. Flo is perfect size for a 3-4 weak side inside backer. What size? I want people to ask how big he was. Why are you just gonna say, well, give me the size? Brazee is the truth, man. Nice combination player, can be a 5 technique type cat. I need to see how he looks though. Sometimes he looks like a 5 technique to me, and sometimes he look like a straight up defensive tackle, or like he doesn't have that type of athleticism. So when I had my Clemson site, right, I did a lot of work on Brian Brazee off a couple of camps. I like to do those camp reps. Obviously, I can't do them on the channel anymore. I almost got my damn channel pull from using a damn camp rep, 1 or 2 camp reps. That shit was crazy to me, but it is what it is. And 6'2", 225. Give me some of his measurables, though. I want to know about his speed. I want to know about some of his sideline to sideline measurables, and it's just flat out speed. Like what type of 40 was he running at the opening? Brent Cox, hey man, you're definitely new to the channel if you don't know about me and Brent Cox. Brent Cox needs some growth, man. I think he needs growth beyond football. Like, that's what I think. I think he has all the talent in the world. He needs to grow outside of football. That's probably what it's going to be. But I think he has a ton of talent. Depends on where they play him at. Depends on where Ty Grantham plays him at. Tarek Stevenson is Georgia's best defensive player. I would say probably Azeez Ojulari is the best defensive player. Justin Flo and Venable's blitz heavy scheme. Yeah, sometimes we need to talk about that blitz heavy scheme, man. I think that's something that they need to work on, especially if they end up playing LSU. Still salty when Adam Anderson flips, says Con Lee. Every stream he's salty about Adam Anderson. Adam Anderson I like. 4'6", 8 in the 40. As a weak side linebacker. More, you want me to talk about DJ Daniels more than the film study that I've done on this kid? I'm confused by this. Like, are you new or something like that? I literally just did a little bit of a film study on him, I believe, last week. This dude says his jersey barely hanging on there, Murph. We talking about clothes here. We talking about football, bro. What you know what I'm saying? You want me to take my pants off or some shit like that? What we doing here, bro? Let's talk football. Let's not talk fashion. All right, what up? From Louisiana. What up, Jay? Davis abused Lloyd Cushenberry. That's hard. Have you seen any film on 2020 wide receiver? Yeah, man. I covered the universities. I have my own site. So there's nothing you can ask me about the University of Georgia that I haven't been popping. What's up, Murph? That hat goes hard, says Jerry. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you for being a member. And this is hard. That's hard. I was laughing nonstop when you showed Neville Gallimore chasing down Charlie Brewer. What the hell? Charlie Brewer was afraid for his life. What type of athleticism does Neville Gallimore have? First of all, what kind of want-to does Neville Gallimore have to be able to redirect himself, to go all the way across the field and chase down the quarterback from Baylor like that? That's a unique athlete right there, man. I really do love me some Neville Gallimore. I told y'all about that before the season started. Who are possible replacements for Coley? That would be James Coley and James Coley. I just don't see Coach Smart giving up on James Coley like that. I don't know. Especially if there's not another opening, right? So there's not another opening. Like where are you going to fit that 10th assistant at? Who's going to go? Who's the best receiver in the class? I'm not sure who's the best, man. There's a ton of players, man. It doesn't really matter about who's the best. Let's just talk about some of these guys who are good, right? Just because somebody or was this and that doesn't mean Justin Ross is not good, or doesn't mean this guy's not good. So let's just talk about who's good. Then people don't always have to be the best at something to be very effective. Thoughts on D-Rob? Not a big D-Rob guy, man. I'm you know what I'm saying? He's not aggressive enough for me. And they don't know how to really use him either, so he didn't turn out. He turned out to be kind of a dud, to be honest with you. Tim Beck is available. You want Tim Beck? Oh, Con Lee want Tim Beck. Tom Lee want to put Tim Beck on him. Tim Beck ain't been called plays in 30 years, man. Everywhere he goes, he gets demoted. Got demoted at Ohio State. Tom Herman was like, hell no, you ain't calling no plays. I don't think he should go to University of Georgia. Me to be the OC at UGA, yeah, I'm good on that, bro. If I were to work somewhere, it would be I would work with Coach Collins at Georgia Tech. That's my guy. Thoughts on Lewis Seen? Lewis Seen's the truth, man. I think he's going to be very good. What he don't need to do is, we saw that. I don't think he needs to be in man coverage. He cannot cover in man coverage. I saw that in some of the camps that I worked. Lewis Seen is not that guy in man coverage like that. What he does have, though, is an aggressive nature about himself, and I think he'll be a little bit more of a sure tackler than Richard LeCount, but I think he needs to move into J.R. Reed's spot. Your dad coached with Collins back at Franklin High School. That's what's up. That's hard. Trayvon Walker has tremendous upside, says Ryan. He does. He has a ton of upside, man. He's scary good. And I saw that at Coach K's True 19 program, right? So I got to be around that kid a lot. And he's always impressive. I remember other kids on the team would come up to me and ask me, or other people's parents, they'd be like, damn, who's number 44 for Upson Lee and shit like that? I'm like, that's Trayvon Walker. That boy is the truth. And they were like sophomores. He was that size as a sophomore. I don't think he's grown an inch since he was a sophomore. He was born that size. That dude is a freak. Everybody gonna keep asking me about Marcus Roseman. I done talked about. I think the Georgia stuff is going to kind of make me mad since I got the Georgia site and shit like that. People want to try to sneak in some recruiting shit when you could have known about this the entire season. I talk to these Georgia people every day in these group chats and stuff like that. But I like Marcus Roseman, man. I like his aggressiveness. I like that he's a hands catcher. I like how he gets in and out of his transition phase. I think he's going to be a pretty good player for Georgia. I really like doing the film evaluation on him for sure. But those film evaluations you can really only see because I like to work off camp reps a lot, and I can't do that here on the channel without getting like a copyright. Even though it's 2 or 3 reps out of a fucking 1,000 reps that would be out of camp, the shit is crazy. Paul says Trayvon Walker big AF and quick. That sounds like something you might need to hit a pause for. Nolan Smith reached the next level this offseason. I have no doubt that Nolan Smith is going to be better. He's just one of those guys that just works super hard. Randall, thank you, brother. I hope you're having a great day as well. Much love to you as well. Thank you, Randall. Aaron Smith will be better than Rosemead. Why do these people always got to do that? Why they like, this is how you know somebody's just like, you know what I'm saying, they got a little sucker in them. If they play on the same team, does it matter? You know what I'm saying? You wanna, if they play on the same team, man, they just gotta be as good as they need to be for that particular team. That's what would be my thing right there. But that's people always doing that. Conley said YouTube always tripping. That's not YouTube, bro. That will be the owners, right? So these are, I don't know, I guess you probably weren't a member then, right? I had 2 copyright strikes. I was hanging on by a thread. One more copyright strike and the channel was gone. And that was off of goofy ass Rivals, right? One of the lame ass video dudes at Rivals. I guess he was jealous of some shit. Because think about it, I worked there before and I would do the same shit when I worked there, breaking down these camp reps and everything like that. And like, what is it going to do? It's not going to hinder your material. It's not like people have used my actual material, my actual sayings and shit like that, right? I'm breaking down a camp rep. The shit is not the same as the way it's presented or anything like that. And they filed a couple of copyright strikes on me. So that's why that particular portion, that was a pretty big portion of the channel too. So that's why I had to try to think of something new. But that was the worst, man. I hate that shit happen. T. Davis, what's up, Murph? It's been a long time, my brother. Good to see you still producing top-notch content. You know I always support, much respect. Always, brother. It's my boy. You're my boy from the Clemson, right? Jeffrey Okudah versus T. Higgins, best versus best. That's going to be hard. Okudah is in Higgins. And man, my main event might be Sean Wade versus Justin Ross in the slot. Who do you think is the best player to fill in for Tyler Clark? The best player to fill in for Tyler Clark? Man, best player to fill in for Tyler Clark. Shit, I'm going to have to be Trayvon Walker, right? Because he would play next to Jordan Davis. And then on the other side, you would have a guy like, I would like to see Julian Rochester really like, what you know what I'm saying? If he's not injured and he returns or whatever like that, I think he could be a key component for the University of Georgia next year, right? And especially if you're talking about shutting down the run and everything like that. And those guys can really free up a Trayvon Walker. Trayvon is not a space eater. So if you have some guys that can kind of eat a little bit of space and can get really aggressive like that, they can free this guy up to have some serious production, especially if he's like more of an every down player next year. I think Julian Rochester can be a very good benefit for those guys. Stingley or Fulton on CD Lamb. They move him all around, man. If you're talking about shadowing him, I would have to go with the veteran Christian Fulton. Thoughts on DeMarcus Bowman? I really like DeMarcus Bowman, man. Early in the process with the Clemson stuff, I think he has some wheels. I like everything about DeMarcus Bowman, man. Is he still a Clemson commit? Rochester is returning. Matt Landers is trash. I think you're being nice there. Stingley with put the clamps on CD. Yeah, he's going to put the clamps on CD Lamb. Yeah, he's going to probably look more like what it looked against Van Jefferson and some of these guys. I'm a little. CD is no better than Justin Jefferson. He's very good. They're both very good. So I'm right there. They're both in my top 3 or 5. CD's my number 1, but Justin Jefferson's definitely in my top 3 to 5. So it's all. People always think if you think somebody's better, they think you think about Miles. Somebody could just be slightly better. Just like when we had the whole ETN versus DeAndre Swift thing. People made it look like I hated Travis Etienne because I said I like DeAndre Swift better because he's a more well-rounded player. He had the blitz pickup. He had better hands. He has better 0 to 60 speed, muscle relaxing, and he run people over and shit like that. But I love Travis Etienne. So they make it to where you fucking really do hate somebody because they can't see past themselves to where they look like, say, I like old dude right here and I like old dude right here. Just slightly better. It's not that serious. Landers is just awful to watch. Landers is bad, man. Thoughts on Jeff Sims? Man, if he flips to Georgia Tech for my boy Coach Collins, we might have to get Coach Collins up on the phone. That would be hard, but I think Jeff Sims got a little bit of talent to him. Hope Georgia can flip Burton. That would be hard, man. That would be hard. But if you're looking at that shit and you're Jermaine Burton, you want to go to a place right now where they can barely pass the ball, or a place where they've probably made first-round draft picks out of 3 receivers on one team. Gervin Dexter cannot absolutely wait to see at the University of Florida. That's exactly what they need at the University of Florida. A big dude like that can work from a 3 to a shade. All out. He seems to be a combination defensive lineman type dude. Like, I'm salivating to see Gervin Dexter at is he Gervin? I'm gonna have to put the call in and somebody see it. Is it Gervin? I've heard some lames call him like Jervin. I'm not sure what's going on. I would think he would be Gervin Dexter. That's what I would think. Do you think Jordan Davis is better than Trayvon? They don't play the same position. Why you guys got to do that? Stop comparing your players and asking who's better as the players. Just wish they both succeed. That's what you should do. George Pickens, is he the best prospect ever? Wait, what? Is he the best prospect ever? I'm confused by that. Who let this dude up on my stream? Very confused by this. This dude is going overboard with some shit. Why is he the best prospect ever? We've seen all kinds of Julio Jones and A.J. Green and all kinds of people. These dudes like almost 1,000-yard receivers as freshmen and shit. I'm confused by this, man. Jonathan Taylor and Swift would be first 2 running backs in the draft. Man, I'm not sure. I don't know. We got to see if Swift can get healthier, man. Y'all know me, man. I'm not biased. I love DeAndre Swift. He's one of my favorite running backs and everything like that. But I'm not biased in my analysis, and I don't think he had as good a year as I was expecting. He looked injured, man. He had that super, super long speed and shit like that. Now he was always getting caught from behind. He had to have had some type of injury. I love to put in a word in with his pops and talk to him about that. Better program in 5 years, UGA or LSU? It's probably going to be a push, man. They're both going to be very good. Trevor Lawrence versus the whole D pause for Clemson will be high level. Versus the whole Trevor Lawrence versus his own defense? That's hard. Would you watching practice or something like that? What you mean? You mean Ohio State defense? He looked a bit slower, says OG friend. He did, man. He looked like he needed to get in shape too. You see any current redshirt guys that will bust onto the scene next season? Any current redshirt guys? I take it with that Georgia helmet you're talking about, the University of Georgia. Any red shirt guys? Man, I want to see what Kenny McIntosh has to offer next year. I think he's being kind of slept upon. He looks like one of those guys where you just be like, damn, he showed me a little bit something right there. He showed me he had a little bit of wheels, right? More than I expected. And he showed me he had some wiggle, right? He muscle relaxed somebody real cold, and in the same game, he ran somebody over. He showed himself to be kind of balanced, right? So maybe he was a great diamond in the rough type. So I want to see what Kenny McIntosh is about. Who else off of that particular team? Man. That's what I'll be looking at right there. That's what I'll be looking at. Thoughts on LSU's QB situation next year? Man, I just want to see Miles Brennan play, man. I've been waiting to see Miles Brennan play for a long time. I know he's been waiting to see himself play for a long time. The dude's about to be a senior in the classroom, so it's his time, man. That's all I got to see is just Miles Brennan, man. But other than that, they'll have some guys. I wouldn't be surprised if they flip somebody, to be honest with you, or they process someone or something like that. They're hot right now. They're absolutely hot. So the sky's the limit for Louisiana State University. Zamir White's ceiling, I don't know, man. He didn't look that good to me this year, if I'm being honest about it. He didn't look that explosive to me. I think he just needs a little bit more time off that injury. But we don't know what he will be in college because we never seen him play in college. So just because you did something in high school doesn't guarantee success at the next level. But I definitely need to see a little bit more from Zamir White. B. Wyman in the crib. Let's go, B. Wyman. What you think about Miles Brennan after Juggling Joe? I don't know who Juggling Joe is. I do know who Jugular Joe is, right? He's going for the jugular vein. He's always going for the kill. You know, if you get that jugular vein compromised, you're dead. That's what he does. Every single play, he's trying to kill you, whether it be detaching from the pocket, running somebody over, outrunning somebody, extending plays, throwing the ball downfield 60, 70 yards, or whether it be in a quick game or whatever like that. He's trying to kill you. So he's Jugular Joe. But yeah, I just talked about Myles Brennan, man. I liked him, and I liked him during the recruiting process. I like what I saw from him at Rivals 5-Star Challenge when I worked at Rivals. He's got a big, strong arm. I think his arm may be stronger than Jugular Joe's, to be honest with you. He's not that type of athlete, though, but he's not a stiff either. So, and he's got a lot of experience. So that's working in this, and he get a year in the system, man. I think Myles Brennan can be good. Jamel White just needs to get his confidence back. ACL injuries take a mental toll on athletes. No, he was running hard. He just wasn't doing anything when he was running hard. He's running up the back of his lineman and everything like that. So it's more to a running back than just being big or just being fast. You still have to be able to understand run concepts and be able to have proper vision as well. So this is stuff he's going to have to get worked out, but he's inexperienced, so I expect him to improve next season. Jugular Joe, quick draw law. You need to be paid to make nicknames. I am paid to make nicknames, baby. It's called Top Billin Channel here. Quick draw law, baby. Don't be messing with my boy Quick Draw. Man, I think the John with Quick Draw, Trevor Lawrence, man, with the ping, ping, ping. He was out there just BB darting people. Ping, ping, ping. Just that boy is amazing, man. Amazing. Saw it when he was a freaking true freshman in high school. He is amazing. I know about him. He was in 8th grade. He's everything that I thought he was going to be. Just incredible. Justin Fields is just incredible. Mass murderer Miles. Who the hell is that? Tommy Brown says, how can I get that hat? You're new to the channel. You probably needs to have some tenureship. Myles Brennan seems to be soft, always stays injured, and no alpha testosterone. Damn, how you know about his testosterone count? What's going on with that, bro? You know what I'm saying? You mean you let him shoot on you a little bit or something like that so you can count up the sperm count or something like that? What we talking about? How you know if he don't got no testosterone? Tavares, what's up, baby? Thank you for being a member of the channel. I appreciate you, bro. Well, man, talking about this man's testosterone. He's low sperm count and shit like that. How you know that man got low sperm count, bro? All right, TJ Finley can be nice enough. I like TJ Finley. Big kid like that. I like TJ Finley. What about your boy Max, though, right? Y'all know Max, you know what I'm saying? He live down the street from your boy. Thoughts on Max? That's what I want. What do you guys think about Max Johnson? Thoughts on Carson Beck coming in and beating out Fromm? No! Get the fuck out of here. He's going to come in and beat out Jake Fromm? No, he wouldn't come in and beat him out. Maybe if Jake Fromm faltered during the season, but you're going to go with a fourth-year guy who literally was the fourth-rated passer as a junior and helped guide you to a national championship as a freshman. As a sophomore. And even in his bad year, right? His bad year, what did Jake Fromm still do? Like 22 touchdowns and 6 interceptions or something like that? Very confused by that. It's all good, though. Hopefully Jake Fromm just leaves, man. I'm tired of people disrespecting that dude like that. That's just you just gone, man. You don't like, you know what I'm saying? You got that you want some cornstarch, some heavily modified cornstarch. Alpha dogs can always spot the weak. Yeah, I can spot somebody being soft, but I don't know about their testosterone count. You know what I'm saying? That's something women know about. I'm be like, ooh, Murph, his testosterone high. His count was real high. He was shooting on me like that. Think he hurt his stock too much to leave. See, here's the thing, though, right? The NFL does not think like fans. They've seen him do it before, right? They have film. If they have film on you doing it before, they're going to think that they can get that back out of you. His sophomore year, he was killing people, right? He had a bad game here or whatever like that. But, man, some of the games he had and some of the throws he made against Florida and Alabama and shit like that, the NFL will look at that and be like, man, he's better off coming back under our tutelage. And then they'll also do their homework, right? Fans just going to look at it because they hate the quarterback or whatever like that. They're going to look at this shit and be like, man, this was some bunk-ass play calling, right, from an inexperienced offensive coordinator with a goofy-ass game plan. These were some horrific receivers to throw to as far as inexperience goes and high-level spots and everything like that. They're going to be looking at stuff like that. So the NFL doesn't necessarily think like fans. If they did, shit would be a lot different. That sounds splendid, too, like some prison shit. Nicholas, what up? What up, Murph? Think UGA should go after Chip Long? Man, that would be hard. But if they go after Chip Long, this is what I want from y'all. Who leaves? You can only have 10 assistants, so you guys be putting people on. It does not look like Dan Lanning is going anywhere, right? So that was the guy right there. What did I say? If Dan Lanning goes, don't worry about the extra defensive assistant. Put that extra guy on offense and then co-coordinate with James Coley to keep him semi-happy so he can recruit this South Florida, whatever that Coach Smart likes, you know what I'm saying, which I couldn't care less about. Do that. However, if he's not going anywhere, who gets fired? Somebody going to get fired? Carson Beck or DeJuan Mathis? Neither, man. Give me a grad transfer or something like that. It's the University of Georgia. Only way someone is under center besides Fromm is if he leaves, says Jerry. But Chip Long, that would be hard. Chip Long would be hard. But who leaves? Let me know that. Let me know, Nicholas, who would you let leave? Scott Fountain might leave if they want to bring in Chip Long. Scott Fountain, who is that? Scott Fountain, what does he coach? I'm confused. Scott Fountain. Why am I struggling with Scott Fountain? A special teams coach? Is he special teams coach? UGA shot with De'Aaron King. I don't know De'Aaron King like that, right? Would he fit the offense, though? Falcons going to draft from? When did the Falcons ever drafted somebody from the University of Georgia, though? That's exactly what they do, them box score watchers or the special teams guy. So you would have somebody be an offensive coordinator and a special teams coach? Is that possible? Why UGA fans want De'Aaron King doesn't fit the scheme? That's what I'm asking. Does he fit the scheme, though? You guys just want anybody. You should get somebody that at least fits the scheme and go from there. Because do you have faith in whomever comes in for Coach Coley to build a game plan around them? I'm not sure about that. C.J. Stroud going to OSU, arguably best QB in the draft? You mean best QB in recruiting? C.J. Stroud from California? OSU as in which OSU are we talking about? Oklahoma State or Ohio State? We will take Chip at Auburn. Chip Long? That's hard. Chip Long and Chad Morris? That's hard. Maybe have Hartley coach tight ends and special teams. And get rid of Scott Fountain? That's hard. I don't know if I could do something like that. That seems like, you know how savage you have to be like, you know what, man, Scott Fountain, you got to go. You said OSU. Which OSU, man? Oh, Ohio State. Okay. Derek King fits at Miami. Coley scheme. What scheme was that? What did he do at Miami? To be honest with you, if you look at the guys that he liked pocket passers. That's the thing, right? Did you watch him there? Who was the guy that they recruited? They recruited Brad Kaya. He is every bit that he might be slower than Jake Fromm. Scott Fountain, not a very good recruiter. All right, man, get Scott Fountain out of there then. If you get Scott Fountain out of there then, man, then if the guy that I'll be looking at, man, if Kendall Browse is not there, at the very least, if you want to evolve your offense, I would start with a guy that works on the ground. Spread the run. I think Coach Smart could probably be talked into something like that. If you want to spread the ball all over the yard, he may have chills or he might start seizuring or something like that. So I don't know about that. But if Kendall Browse is available, why not? That shit would be hard. Spread the run, right? You can still run a lot of these same run concepts, but I have a spread, and he'll add a lot more to it as well. I don't know. I don't know Frank Wilson to know where he ends up, bro. Kirby turned red if he was spread the pass. Simmons will spy Fields a lot. Simmons is a better athlete than Justin Fields, too. Tyler Simmons, I'm so happy you're graduating. That's hard. Last I heard, FAU had Coley as a potential candidate for their head coach opening. FAU, they hired Willie Taggart. Chase Young, you know damn well James Coley wasn't going to get hired nowhere. Get the fuck out of here. You guys will believe anything. Like, what did he do at the University of Georgia for somebody to be like, you know what, I want to hire that guy? They all just had some weird ass office that sucked. Took a guy that some people were talking about as a potential number 1 overall draft pick, where people are saying that he should stay back, and they're gonna be like, "That's the guy we want to hire." Yeah, come on, fam. You got to understand how the business works, right? These agents will float some shit out there, right, to make their client look better, right? If you're thinking about letting him go or something like that, you probably wouldn't want to let him go if people want him or shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So, or if you're trying to get him a better contract, that's what these dudes do. These dudes have agents, and these agents float false information out there to the media. We want Coley out. That's hard. Let's talk about all the stupidest rumors in college football. Throw something out, Andrew. Throw out some of the rumors that you heard, and we'll say that's hard or that's not hard. Tavares says that's why he messes with me. I need a spot on ESPN. This is the spot, babe. I don't need to be on ESPN. I'm getting that bread right now, and I'm able to control my own shit. Y'all want to hear me cuss and talk about Splendor and stuff, right? It ain't gonna be at ESPN. Deion Sanders to FSU, that wasn't hard. Give me some other weird shit. Saban to the Cowboys, that wasn't hard. Dan Mullen to the Cowboys, that's not hard. Now that's a perfect example of an agent floating some shit out right there. Now, the hacker is the truth, right? The hacker is the truth. But what would look better for the hacker, right? He's coming off of a potential, he's about to probably win, 11 games or some shit like that? Florida is lit. But guess what? He want his pockets to be a little bit lit too, right? So, damn, we can't lose Dan Mullen. Let's throw some extra money at him to get him to stay. That's what agents do. Petrino to anywhere, that's not hard. Lincoln Riley to the Cowboys, that's not, I don't know. I'm not going to say that that's true or anything like that. But if people look at Cliff Kingsbury, and that's the guy he's always going to be compared to, right? Former teammates. Were they teammates at Texas Tech? I'm going to have to go back and look at that. But that's the guy right there. So if it can happen to Cliff Kingsbury, I'm pretty sure it can happen for Lincoln Riley. Gus Malzahn to Arkansas, that was not hard. Like it or not, players execute. UGA goes in the halftime tie with LSU. That's hard. Got to catch the ball, man. Tua coming back, that's hard. Nah, Tua needs to go to the NFL, man. You can't get injured every single year in college. The next one could be if you're able to make it from this injury, why not rehab that shit in the NFL under the tutelage of great doctors and while making generational wealth? If I'm the fans, I would tell him to go to the NFL. I know people are selfish and they want their team to win, but that's you go to college football to be in the NFL to make generational wealth. That's why everyone goes to college, period. Fandom and all that. The pageantry, that's for fans. These kids want to make the NFL. That's their ultimate dream. Urban Meyer to the Cowboys, Kellen Moore to Boise State. Damn, Kellen Moore to Boise State will be hard. I love that Boise State team. I might have watched every single Boise State game that I could find back then when that was going on. I love that scheme, the 2 tight end sets, right? They were coming out of the pistol with 2 tight end sets. They did a lot of shit, man. They put it on the University of Georgia right here at the Dome, too. That time period was hard, and Boise State is still hard. Les Miles to the Dallas Cowboys, that's not hard. That's not hard. I don't know who said that. JC, who said that? Geriatric Lawrence coming back to LSU, that's not hard. No, actually, that would be hard. He would be in his 17th season at Louisiana State University. That would be hard. He's older than Dave Aranda. He's like, Dave Aranda, could you get in there and make me a sandwich? I have seniority over you. George Pickens to Auburn, very confused. That was not hard. Jake Fromm transfers to LSU to try out a new system over there. If Jake Fromm transferred to LSU, I would hate to break it to Georgia fans. LSU would blast Georgia. He would kill it. He would kill it. You give this guy that type of scheme. We've already seen him do it in a much more difficult scheme. Give him those type of players, that type of scheme, and that type of coaching. None of that shit that he had this year. I bet you see a bigger difference. Why, when we just beat that ass? What does that mean? I'm confused. You beat him at the University of Georgia. He's not working with a Jamar Chase or a Terrace Marshall or Thad Moss. You know what I mean? Or Ensminger or Brady. None of that shit exists at the University of Georgia for the 2019 season. That's what I've been. See, people were saying this, right? So I said that before, right? In passing. Or it was kind of in jest, but there was kind of some truth to it, right? Y'all know me, man. I'm always for the underdog. And I'm always for the best interest of some players, right? I don't like people like Jake Fromm getting trashed and stuff like that when in actuality there's a lot of shit going against him for him to succeed anyway. Him at the University of Oklahoma, that wouldn't be hard. He'd kill it. He would absolutely kill it. They're going to be loaded, and he'll be with perhaps the best mind in the entire sport. You don't think Lincoln Riley could do some shit with Jake Fromm? Come on, man. I hope Urban Meyer comes to the Cowboys. Man, don't get me excited, man. Y'all know that's my dude, man. He's my idol. At the Cowboys too. Woo-hoo. I think Fromm will look good in the NFL, man. There's no Tyler Simmons in the NFL. There's no Eli Wolfs and Charlie Werners and Matt Landers and shit like that. He'll be throwing two professional athletes that are there. You put him in a rhythm and time and offense, just like he looked as a sophomore. If David Randall leaves, who should LSU look at? Man, who's some hot defensive names out there? I have to see is my man Barry Odom, is he available? If Barry Odom is available, I would be like, hey, come on over. Charlie Strong, man. Charlie Strong at LSU would be hard. Wesley McGriff. Everybody always be mentioning Wesley McGriff, but he always be getting passed over. Urban to Notre Dame would be shut the channel down. Notre Dame time. Butch Jones to LSU is the DC. Very confused by why offensive coach, a former wide receiver coach, I believe like that, would become a defensive coordinator. Plumlee to Georgia. Very confused by this. What do you mean? Did we step in some type of time warp or something like that? Like you think, Plumlee followed Matt Luke to Georgia when Georgia disrespected him and didn't want to take him as a gray shirt? That would be weird. Young Coke says Urban to Notre Dame would be hard. Oh, Butch Davis. Hopefully he meant Butch Davis, but Butch Davis is 109 years old. I don't know. Oh, they blocking him? Oh, we blocking some people, Marco? Where's Marco at? Let me get Marco. I'm about to promote Marco. Get him, Marco. We need a Clemson mod, too. So there you go, Marco. Marco has been promoted. You blocked him? I'm confused. Now you can really block him. Rico Wheat, what up? Where we at, y'all? Let's get it. Give me some more questions. Let's go, baby. I'm lit today. Did Charlie Strong's name come up for Ole Miss as far as a head coaching job, or because when Lane first came there, the first thing that I was told from some insider stuff was that he was looking at Kendall Browse and Charlie Strong as his DC. So I'm not sure. What do you mean? That's your decision, baby. You got to make that decision, Marco. I give my guys carte blanche. Will James Coley have a job next season? I think I don't see why you wouldn't already have parted ways with him while there are a lot of people out there, right? You know what I'm saying? If the market right now is very fruitful, why wouldn't you have already just parted ways with him? The fact that they're waiting around, or if he's still there right now, would let me know, or would lend me to think that he's not going anywhere. Oh, you blocked him prior to mod, so you can't see him anymore? Well, unblock him and then get him out of there. How much to get Brent Venables out of Clemson? I ain't run about 3-4 mil. Matt Landers for the game-winning catch. This man was throwing to Matt Landers, and people are down on him. Venables staying till his sons leave. That's hard. It wasn't all Coley, it's personnel too. Yeah, definitely bad personnel, but let's be real here. That's those game plans. You like those game plans and you like those play calls? Man, we only have 100 likes? I forgot for y'all to tell me to oh, JC, what we doing, JC? You should be a mod. JC is my dude. JC, everybody hit the like button for your boy, man. JC said there's only 100 likes. What are we doing here, man? What are we doing in life here? If Jake Fromm leaves, who you want as Georgia's next QB? D. Eric King. Who would I want as Georgia's next QB? It doesn't matter to me. I'm not a Georgia fan. Who should Georgia go after? I already told y'all, Chase Bryce from Clemson. This is something that I've said 50 million times. I said this early in the season. I had this shit pop in my head. Chase Bryce needs to stay behind. I'm pretty sure Chase Bryce is smart enough to graduate in 3 years. That wouldn't be perfect. I'm pretty sure he was a Georgia fan growing up. A very similar skill set to a Jake Fromm. Has a ton of experience in high-level spots, or has some experience in a high-level spot at Clemson. Could be the reason why they won the national championship last year. Him coming in that Syracuse game, keeping the ship there. I don't think they could have survived with one loss last year. Chase Bryce would be perfect. He will graduate in December. Chase Bryce. I even told Coach K, I was like, won't you ask Chase Bryce? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? That was, obviously him and Coach were on the same team at Grayson. Chase Bryce is the best backup in the country. I guess we got to see Mac Jones was pretty good as well, right? At Alabama. Where we at, man? Everybody hitting the thumbs up button. Where we at? Let's go. Let's get it. Get the thumbs up popping. Hit your boy up. Hit the thumbs up button for your boy. We rocking tonight. Florida going 12-0 and 20. He said facts. So obviously we got to block that guy in 2020 if they lose. So hopefully, you know what I'm saying, for your sake, brother, that goes your way. We don't do the facts and hands down and all that stuff right here. So Charlie Strong or Todd Grantham is DC. I got to roll with Dr. Pressure. Dr. Pressure, that's my dude, Todd Grantham. But I love me some Charlie Strong when he was at Florida too. I don't know. That's a tough one right there. It's like my old head dude versus my new head cat. Man, I'm rolling with Dr. Pressure. Murph, who's that QB for Lowndes County? No clue, bro. James Cook gonna transfer? No, I'm not sure why. Why would you transfer when you're about to lose the top two backs and you were the fourth back in the rotation? So I would think that you would be elevated now, right, to where you would be could possibly be in at least DeAndre Swift's role. You want to see Stetson Bennett play? Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. So you also don't want to see Georgia win the national championship too, right? Not to say that Stetson Bennett is trash doo-doo or anything like that, but come on, fam. y'all tripping. Y'all tripping. He gonna go blind watching Stetson Bennett play. Man, Stetson Bennett is I think he has some talent though, but we're tripping here. We're tripping here. So you want to see Stetson Bennett be the quarterback at the University of Georgia? Berto Hardy in the crib. Let's get it. Hit the thumbs up, says Roberto. Murph, you talk about Avante Williams, the Oregon safety decommit. Man, they had somebody decommitted from Oregon? Why would you do that? Santee said that's hard. So that hat is hard. Santee extended the D, though, so Santee might have a stuttering problem. You can't extend the D. You got to extend the A's, baby. It's hard. Not hard. Either Santee got a stuttering problem or Santee's Hispanic. He be rolling his D's or some shit, or Italian or something. Who be rolling their letters like that? No, I've not talked about Avante Williams. I'm looking at that. That's hard. Yeah, that's what he sounded like. That's hard. They're supposed to be the favorites, but LSU just lost to safety, so they be pushing for him. Avante Williams, perhaps on a flip to LSU. That's hard. Oh, Marco said he just now learning the mod stuff. Don't let me down, Marco. Do you think Darnell Washington, Kingsley Ringo are UGA commits? Do I think they'll end up in the class? Man, from what I was told, man, it looks pretty good, but I'm not as dialed in with 2020 as I was with 2019. I think we you know what I'm saying, we know that right there. So I can't say that I know those kids as well or I'm as sourced up as I was for 2019. But from what I was told, the Ringo kid, I don't know about Darnell Washington, man. So some things change, right? So if Eric Gilbert didn't go to Alabama, he ends up surprisingly going to LSU. And if you're if you're Darnell Washington and you perhaps have a chance to go to Alabama, suppose you're that guy that steps into a wide open offense at Alabama as opposed to whatever they were doing at the University of Georgia. So you have to always look at things like that. But from what I was told before, I would think that he would be leaning to the University of Georgia, but you always have to follow dominoes in recruiting. That's if I can't tell guys or teach you about anything, it's follow dominoes, right? Theo Johnson goes to Penn State. I had some dude flip out on me one time right up on the site, right? He had said something about Theo Johnson being a lock, right? And I was like, man, I've never heard that before. So I hit him up. I was like, a lock? And he like flipped out on me and shit like that. He's like, yeah, man, he's a lock. Like the people say at these sites. And I was like, wow, these dudes be so in their feelings and shit like that. Take it he was not a lock. Why would De'Aaron King to UGA be nice? Is it because you know his name? Does he fit the scheme? You know what I'm saying? Does he fit the scheme though? Yeah, Marcus Roseman, I like. Man. Hold on. Greg McElroy did more than Fromm in college. Why do you think Fromm will be a better pro? He did more than as what from a stats perspective. I bet you Greg McElroy was not fucking with Jake Fromm in any shape, form, or fashion. Like, what are you talking about? Greg McElroy played on an all-time great team, and that's what he did more than Fromm in college. Are you crazy? Somebody come on, fam. Somebody compare Greg McElroy's stats to Jake Fromm's stats. I bet you Jake Fromm's worst stats look like Greg McElroy's stats. Bennett is hard at practice. Bennett, which Bennett we talking about? Jalen Carter's a good fit at UGA. I like what I saw from Jalen Carter. I just got to know what he was, right? One time he looked like an outside linebacker. Then the other time he looked like a one technique. Like, how big is he? I needed to get a real legit. I guess we'll get that on. That's what I love about the end of season All-Star games, right? You get these legit reads on these kids as far as their proper heights and weights. I just need to know it. He looked extremely athletic to me. As a kind of a defensive tackle spot. If he's able to be a defensive tackle with that type of athleticism that he had, that's hard. What non-playoff bowl game interests you? Michigan and Alabama. Justin Robinson is going to be nice at UGA. We'll see about that. What players do you think slightly overrated? Who players? Like, what you mean? Like, we talking about? Like, give me some specifics, man. Carter's got a 6-spin move. From style QB, you mean like Lamar Jackson, Russell Williams MVP phase? Very confused. There's room for all kinds of quarterbacks in the National Football League. We just seen Tom Brady just dominate football for how long? Your man up at the Los Angeles Rams, all kinds of people, man. You don't have to just be one style of football player. Nolan Smith in line for an impressive sophomore year at UGA. Of course, man. The kid's going to work his ass off. Georgia running a complete spread offense now. That's hard. When did they run even a form of a spread offense for it to be a complete? Like, they're highly regarded but not good. Example, Tim Tebow, Jake Fromm. The fuck out of here using Jake Fromm as an example. Jake Fromm is fine. What the fuck is wrong with y'all dudes, man? Y'all watch football or do you skim it? What up, J-Dub? Who's a little overrated? I don't know, man. I don't know if I want to be up on that like that, man. People get so mad if I say some shit like that. I love me some Tebow, but don't compare Fromm's NFL potential to Tebow's. He don't play football no more. He wants to twerk. That's hard. Think Jamar Chase going to win the Biletnikoff? I'm not sure if he's going to win the Biletnikoff or not. Should he win the Biletnikoff? I think CeeDee Lamb means more to his team than Jamar Chase does, right? So pretty sure Justin Jefferson had 1,200 yards of his own. Go look at CeeDee Lamb's stats and then look at the next guy. CeeDee Lamb got like 1,300 yards, missed some time, missed an entire game. And the next guy behind him probably has like 300 yards or some shit like that. You take CeeDee Lamb up off Oklahoma, this shit look way different. Lamb is better, but Chase winning the Biletnikoff, I can believe it. But they asked me my opinion. I would give it to the guy who means the most to his team, and I think CeeDee Lamb means the most to his team. CeeDee Lamb not even a finalist? I wouldn't doubt it. McElroy, 61%, 17-4 as a senior. 73,000 yards and 25 as a senior or as a junior. That's Jake Fromm all day right there. What, Jake Fromm went for like 30-6 as a sophomore? We haven't even seen Jake Fromm as a senior yet. And look who McElroy was passing the ball to. He was not passing the ball to Matt Landers. Lamb's a finalist? All right. Lamb, Chase, and Pittman. You think Delpit is overrated? No, I definitely don't think he's overrated, man. I think he's great. I just think he's banged up. He was passing the ball to Julio Jones. Give Jake Fromm Julio Jones. Take Matt Landers off of Georgia and put Julio Jones there and tell me the difference. You think Jake Fromm even has to be accurate? We seen Julio make all kind of catches for Greg McElroy. That San Jose State catch. You think Matt Landers will make that San Jose State catch that Julio Jones made? Fuck out of here. You like the Jay-Z reference? Y'all watch football, just skim through it? Man, I've been saying that shit for like 20 years. McElroy had Julio Jones, says James Wade. Where we at? Stats are actually similar, but Fromm never threw to Julio Jones. There you go. I don't know about similar, though. 20 touchdowns. Think about it. Jake Fromm has more than that shit, and this is his bad year. Jake Fromm went for 30-6. And think about this, right? They be messing Jake Fromm up. If they have a lead, these other teams, they get leads, they throw the ball. They pad stats. Georgia will never pad stats like that, so Jake Fromm will never have that type of production. Imagine if when they were up, they were just throwing the ball too. I've seen Tua throwing the ball. They're up by 30, 40 points. He's throwing the ball with 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter. That's stat padding time. They won't let Jake Fromm do that. Marcus says, Murph, who is from best we ever? Best we ever? Who is Fromm's best we ever? I'm confused. What does that mean? Reword that for me, Marcus. Julio had 15 TDs for his career. That's hard. Heisman Trophy winner Murph for Jake Fromm if he have Julio. I doubt it. I still doubt he would win that. You know what I'm saying? It's still that type of offense. We even seen Julio in the type of offense or whatever like that. The same exact offense, same exact coaches, same exact Coach Smart on the team and everything. I don't think that they would do that. Spell check got him. Oh, no. Spell check got him. Oh, who's the best? Who's Fromm's best ever receiver? Man, his best receiver probably was Riley Ridley or somebody like that. So let you know, is he playing with some future NFL star? He's never played with some future NFL star. Was it Javon Wims? Jeremiah Holloman, we didn't get a chance to see how good he was going to get. So if you look at him, he only got 300 something yards up out of him. He has not had the benefit of playing with some future superstar. The most talented player he's playing with will probably be next year's George Pickens, if you think about it logically. McCole Hardman, right, was a converted. His first year that they were there, McCole Hardman was on the defensive side of the ball. So he didn't get a chance to see McCole Hardman all the way through the maturation of his progress or his just maturation process in general. He has not had the benefit of playing with Jerry Jeudy. Think about Tua Tagovailoa, Jalen Hurts, the receivers that they played with. Jalen Hurts played with Calvin Ridley. He's already very good in the NFL. right? You know what I'm saying? He's already very good in the NFL. And then he got a chance to play with Jerry Jeudy, Devontae Smith, Henry Ruggs, and Jalen Waddle. There's nobody like that on Georgia. Like, you can't see this shit, right? And then Jalen Hurts gets to go on and play with CeeDee Lamb. There's Jake Fromm has not had the benefit of a CeeDee Lamb. These guys can take over an entire game. They have multiple guys who can take over an entire game. So imagine that. So I don't know. You guys can do what you got to do. Mike says Javon Wims was the best receiver they had. Exactly. How good has Javon Wims been in the NFL? Somebody let me know. I know I see him on the Bears and stuff like that, but is he some type of superstar? Calvin Ridley looks like a budding superstar. These guys make plays themselves. Like Jake Fromm, like people are literally waiting on Jake Fromm to make a play with these receivers when if he's errant or anything like that, like Jalen was or Tua is, these guys go up and make a play for him. Look at some of the throws. If you really look at a lot of the deep balls that Joe Burrow threw against Georgia, a lot of them shits was flat and underthrown and shit. But his guys were adjusting and making plays for him. That's what football is about. It's not just on one person. It's a team sport. What school would be a good fit for Felipe Franks? Big guy like that. Pretty good athlete. Man, why not Oklahoma? They want to keep it going. Why not try Oklahoma? Why is Georgia so bad at developing wide receivers as of late? But who are they developing? That's what you got to see. Some of these guys are 5-star recruits and everything like that. So they're not developing. I'm pretty sure George Pickens will be fine. Sometimes it may be who you're recruiting. If you QB the top teams, you're throwing the first round wide receivers. Yeah, some of them. Georgia was a top team. He was not throwing the first round wide receivers. There's not one first round wide receiver that Jake Fromm threw to those. Obviously, we got to see those guys drafted. So the highest was drafted was McCole Hardman, right, in the second round. Blaylock, I think he'll be fine. Felipe Franks is so cocky. Why you worry about another man and how cocky they are? What does it got to do with you? Franks will be a good fit for Georgia Southern's triple option. Why you gotta put him at Georgia Southern? He went for what? What was Felipe? Felipe Franks had some pretty good stats last year. Dang, I just literally talked about Jalen Carter AA. I don't know if I want to go back through that again. When is Birch announced? This is what I'm saying. These people you can have all the news you want until until it's really time for announcement. Is he going to announce on signing day? Or is he announcing at the Under Armour game or something like that, or the Army Bowl? What do you think about the job DC Golden did at Bama this year? Is he the right guy? Damn, am I that far behind? No, I don't like the job that Golden did. I don't think they played well statistically because they didn't play any really good teams. But if you looked at it conventionally, and some of the teams had any semblance of an offense or whatever like that, Alabama, to me, kind of struggled. I don't think he did that good a job. Georgia needs Hines Ward. We don't know if Hines Ward can coach football. Like, how do you need somebody who you've never actually seen coach football? Why do people do that to themselves? Backstory on Gatewood picking Kentucky. I don't know, but it's funny. As soon as it came out, I was told he was going to pick Kentucky. And I thought it was weird as shit. I don't know. I'm going to have to look into that on Joey Gatewood going to Kentucky. Wonder if there was some built-in relationship from high school or something. Damn, is my shit messing up? Why I keep doing that? Somebody get old dude out. I'm pretty sure you can tell who I need out. Just because you're good at something doesn't mean you're good at teaching it. That is a great, great thing. When you think about Justin Robinson, I think that they've had a lot of Justin Robinsons up at the University of Georgia. Like, what's the difference between Justin Robinson and Tommy Bush? Like, just be honest with yourself. Not trying to say he won't be successful or anything like that, but I'm saying they have Justin Robinsons there. Why not try and go get what's succeeding in college right now? Like bigger, slower guys like Justin Robinson, they're not necessarily killing it in college right now. and you already have Tommy Bush and you have George Pickens, you need somebody super explosive. And you need 2 or 3 of them. I'm sure Hines Ward could help with route running. Why? Because he was a good route runner himself? That has nothing to do with anything, right? Some of your best coaches were terrible players. Some of your worst coaches were great players. I don't know, honestly, either Clemson or Miami, but he could stay in Cali and go to USC. Possession wide receivers are plenty at UGA, says Caleb. Exactly. Get some explosive players, man. Murph, apparently Trey Palmer might be moving to DB next year. It might have hands problem. Somebody have to give me the skinny on that. Why would you move Trey Palmer? I seen that dude straight kill people at some of these camps. How, Sway? Mike Singletary, the 49ers head coach. Yikes. I want winners. Can't win with them. You got to build your wide receiver core like a basketball team. What's basketball? That's old school shit. What's basketball of what Alabama's doing right now? What's basketball about that? Nothing. The scheme allows for those little guys to get in space, right? We're talking about a bunch of guys. The tallest is 6'1" Jerry Jeudy, 6'1". These 6'5" and 6'6" dudes and all that shit like that. This shit ain't doing nothing. Alabama killing college football doing that shit, right? Getting these guys out in space, making people come up and tackle these guys out in space. They take it 60, 70, 80 yards for a touchdown. That's too easy. They're making it easy. That makes football easy to me. Clemson T and Justin, yeah, that's basketball, but come on, fam, that's rare. But there's nothing really basketball about LSU, really, right? I guess kind of, whatever like that. I don't know. To me, Alabama's the wave. That shit right there with Jalen Waddle and his little dudes and shit like that, that's hard to defend. Most guys can't defend those guys. That shit is all about route running and speed right there. What I say is means you got to have a bunch of guys doing a bunch of different things. There's nobody doing nothing different. Alabama got a whole bunch of the same receivers, and they're just scheming them up, getting them out in space. Need to build your wide out court like a track team. That's what it looks more. That's what Alabama shit looks more like a track team than a basketball team. You're right, Murphy, and it's carrying over to the NFL too. I think so too. Who is that? It's one of these teams. I was like, damn, this shit is like, is it the San Francisco 49ers or something like that? They got a whole bunch of speed guys that they're getting out in space, and that shit looks crazy to me. Then you put all these big receivers on the New England Patriots and shit like that. Then Tom Brady look like he's struggling. Do I think Joe Brady stays at LSU? Why you guys I don't know these guys. I'm never ever gonna front in life and be something that I'm not. I don't know these guys to know what they're gonna do. You have to phrase this shit to me, should he stay at LSU? I can give my opinion on it, but to pretend like I know every single thing in life, I don't do that. I don't do that. So should Joe Brady stay at LSU? He should stay at LSU. He should stay there and be the sole offensive coordinator. And if he does good with Miles Brennan, right, the very next season, he's a head coach somewhere. And he may be able to skip being a head coach at somewhere small. UJ need to put Matthew Bolin out there. That dude stiff like Forrest Gump. Matthew Bolin like, I was trying to drive you to the store, Jenny. Hey, Jenny. They be like, just run, Matthew. He's all stiff and shit. I don't know about that. You need some guys that have some shiftiness to them, right? So that's what makes Henry Ruggs and these guys like that. Jenny. What do you think about top high school prospects that play black competition? I feel like this Kevin Boateng dude been here 50 million times, right? But he asking shit that I think everybody in the world should already know if you watch Top Billin. He's not new. He seen me on here. I had to have seen the Coach K podcast and shit right there, right? Where it's all about recruiting and we get to give our opinions on stuff like that, right? I don't like kids who play bad competition. I think that it's hard to say that they're going to be better than the next kid, right? I think we can get a little convoluted with that. However, you still have to judge that particular person's skill set. It just makes it much harder to really know what's real on their skill set. if they're going against bad competition and dominating bad competition. So my thing for people is always try to find the best competition possible, because then you'll be prepared. And a lot of these guys, even if they're rated a certain way, they play bad competition, they get into college, and then it shows. They're not as prepared. What did Boateng do? Ask that shit 20 times? Uh-oh. Y'all let him ask some shit 20 times? Come on, fam. That's what mods are for. I wonder if Justin Shorter looks at somewhere like UGA. So what type of competition did Justin Shorter play? Because he was a complete bust at Penn State. And my man, right, was a late bloomer. So he was pushing 4-star status going into the opening finals, right? And he came up out of that shit a superstar. I'm always wondering about stuff like that. When these guys get late in the process and shit like that, then they shoot these guys to 5 stars. Like, what did you get enamored with? Justin Shorter was not good at Penn State, but he obviously has a lot of talent. We'll see what he looks at. Where is Justin Shorter originally from? He's from somewhere up north, right? Murph keep analyzing football and let Tom Hanks do Forrest Gump. Can't do it, fam. I gotta do my impressions. Unless you're Herschel Walker, you play bad competition in high school, then dominate at UGA. That's hard. I wonder if thoughts on Clemson losing Jeff Scott. Man, I wonder what that does for the recruiting aspect. I know that dude was super hot in Florida, and that's where Clemson be killing in Florida. However, Clemson has started to take over the vacated state of Georgia, so they might be fine. I don't know. I never know how good Jeff Scott is or how good Tony Elliott is, and because Dabo is sitting there. So I'm always confused on how good these guys really are, what they brought to the table, if they're really running what Chad Morris is running with his vibe that he set up and everything like that. So I don't know. We'll see. But I know he's a very good recruiter, and a lot of people really like him in the business. So he's from New Jersey. Yeah, what did I tell you about? I'm going to be honest with you. I've said this before, so it's nothing new. I'm not a big fan of 5-star recruits from the state of New York or New Jersey or out there like that, right? I think that the competition is so scarce out there that you probably end up looking a little bit better than what you really are. So I'm not saying that's foolproof, right? We've seen some guys like a DeAndre Swift. He lived up to the billing. I'm not sure about Antonio Alfano or whatever like that. He's already gone. Justin Shorter, Isaiah Wilson. I think he's solid at the University of Georgia, right? Man, he can be had a little bit. I don't know. Sometimes I look at it as Isaiah Wilson really a 5-star to me, though. He looked like he would have been a nice high 4-star type. He doesn't seem like Andrew Thomas. You just see the domination with Andrew Thomas. Isaiah Wilson, I don't think really brought that. So there's been a lot of these guys up north like that I'm just like, man, I don't know. The competition ain't like that up there. So it's something to watch. Damn, JC said Isaiah Wilson. You don't like Isaiah Wilson, JC? Dominic Easley. I said it's not foolproof. He was definitely good. But was he a 5-star? Was Easley a 5-star? Yeah, I think Easley was a 5-star. But he was very good. I like that. He's a 5-star actor. He is. He's Denzel Washington with it. So you recommend ING Academy to prove how good they are? The fuck is this Boateng dude talking about? Dude, you might be having one of the worst streams that I've seen. Well, somebody had a real bad stream one time. I think it was Tommy Chu. Tommy Chu had a bad stream one time. This Boateng dude is struggling. Yes, I'm going to recommend one little school for everyone. What are you talking about, fam? I'm from Gwinnett County, Georgia. It's probably the biggest hotbed in here, right? One of the name people from all over the country that come out of Gwinnett County, right? You can play at South Florida. You can play at Texas. There's different places all over the country. It's not just IMG Academy. What we talking about here? Iverson Clement for running back was all world up here. Can't get on the field. Damn, Iverson Clement, where is he from? He's from like New York or something? Rain had a bad stream one time. We all have bad games. It's like having a bad game. I think he's having a bad game. We call it a bad stream. Rain went for about 2 points and 2 rebounds one time. No, Rain went for like 1 catch for 3 yards one time. Tommy Chu, he was Matt Landers on one stream. I'm almost getting tired of D'Eriq King talk. This shit going too far. Let me get D'Eriq King stats from this year. Y'all going too far with D'Eriq King, man. Y'all talking about him like he Brenton Cox. Ain't nobody Brenton Cox out there. Rico Week says pink slip. Tommy Chu got timed out for 50,000 seconds. He was mad in the mug, too. I ain't gonna lie. Tommy Chu was a member of the committee to the G site. He left. He left after that timeout. He came back the next day, though. If he comes back on some BS, then I'm just going to ban him. Oh, Marco got an itchy trigger finger. We got to watch Marco. Peppers was good. Peppers was definitely good. But tell me this, though. Peppers was good. How good was he ended up being a first-round pick, though. I thought he was very talented. But did Rashawn Gary live up to his hype at Michigan to U coming from New Jersey? What do y'all think? I'd like to take y'all's opinion. Did Rashawn Gary live up to his 5-star status coming out of the state of New Jersey or wherever he's from? Marcus says no. Sir Dior says hell no. Rain says no. But guess what? What did I tell y'all? The same thing about Jake Fromm. The NFL will overlook some shit like that. They think they can get the most out of somebody if they have talent. He's still winning the first round. Not a 5-star, says Matthew. Bot says hell no. Tula says nope. We're talking about you late. You better get a better a better dial-up modem. I thought Richard Gary, exactly. Ricky Johnson called him Richard Gary. That's hard. He was Rashawn Gary. When he came up out of high school, he left as Richard Gary. That's hard. Trash playing for Florida versus the guy who played over him high school his entire career at UGA. Good storyline. That would be a dope-ass storyline, but come on, fam. De'Aaron King over Chase Bryce, why? Aaron Hernandez, why would you run it high? Aaron Hernandez is a fucking animal, bro. He's one of the greatest football players that I've ever seen, just a straight football player. So I don't care about whatever they do off the field or whatever like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, don't dig in me and my boys, don't be looking at what we were doing off the field or off or whatever in our personal lives or behind the scenes or whatever like that. So I don't care about that. On the field, Aaron Hernandez is one of my all-time favorite football players. I said that. He still got picked high because the NFL will overlook shit that fans will look at Rashawn Gary and be like, man, he sucks. I hate Rashawn Gary. And then he still go top 12. You know why? Because the NFL don't think like fans. Rahard Gary, that's hard. Rahard Gary or Richard Gary, which one? Metro Atlanta has always been loaded. I played at Camden County, and every ATL school we played was hard, says Mike McDaniel. New Clemson defense breakdown soon. Damn, he ain't even say nothing about the offense breakdown. I literally put the offensive breakdown out a couple of hours ago, and he already talking about the defensive breakdown. That's what I'm saying. Then just be like roaches out there, baby. They do not care about nothing but whatever's next. Hernandez was a straight-up weapon for Meyer at UF. Used him line up in the – dude, y'all already know my thing. The 2008 Florida team is my all-time favorite team, right in front of like 96 Nebraska or something like that. That shit was cold-blooded how they use your boy Aaron Hernandez, man. He was a straight weapon, and they did the same thing with him in New England. There's no 98 listed on UVA either. That dude was, he going to be hard, right, when you know they don't even list you. You don't got your shit on the back of your jersey, and you wearing a number that's not yours. He going to snatch it. Y'all see that shit? Go watch the Clemson thing that I had. Why they snatch that dude? He snatched A.J. Terrell's towel in a fracas, and they was about to get it buck, right? Luck if you buck. And he up there with people back turned. He going to snatch his towel. I'm like, yeah. You saw what I just did to him? I snatched his towel, and he wasn't looking. A.J. Terrell would have turned around and shit. That dude would have shit in his own drawers. He said, you got any more of that crack? What? Percy Harvard from my hometown. Now everybody want to talk about their hometowns. What we doing here? Hopefully that's how LSU loses Eric Gilbert. There's no E on Eric, Rain. But he going to ball out. I think Coach K may have been at Eric Gilbert's game over the weekend or some shit like that because he had hit me up. It was late as hell. And he was like, bro, that dude is fucking amazing on defense. I'm like, man, trying to tell you. Eric Gilbert as an outside linebacker, to me, probably would be more useful than him as a receiver at LSU. He could be a freaking crazy-ass outside linebacker. I don't have hot takes. I don't do hot takes. I don't do shit just to do it. So anything I'm talking about is shit that I believe in or whatever like that. So that's some generic shit to even ask me, bro. What are some hot takes you got? Kind of shit is, do I look generic to you? Go find one of them fake-ass Murph dudes that be popping up and shit. Ask them some shit like that. He always messed up your personnel if you were on defense. He did, man. He was a... What could you consider him, right? You can literally consider that if he's on the field, you can consider to be 10 personnel because he could operate like a receiver. He was that fast and that shifty, and he was such a great route runner. But technically, he was 11 personnel because he was bigger. Love that dude, man. He was really good. UGA wanted him to play D-line. No, UGA wanted him to be whatever he wanted to be, but they did not want him to play D-line. If anything, he would be an outside linebacker, but not D-line. But no, they said that he could be. He just didn't want to go to Georgia, man. All I'm saying is transferring to a school that plays comp. IMG Academy is just the most known one that recruits his prospects. Elias Ricks, Xavier Thomas. Okay, those are a couple of prospects. There's only 5 million more that don't come from IMG. IMG's cool, but there's a ton of places around the country that have a ton of great football. Kiffin at Ole Miss gonna make the SEC West hard. I completely agree. I'm sniffing it, man. You know, once we get past a little bit of this shit and I start diving into some of these other teams and what shit may look like, it's about to be hard. Y'all know I love that type of stuff. Remember that catch when Riedel Anthony caught that pass against FSU? Yes, I remember that shit. That shit shaped like my life. I love that shit. He just stopped and boom. I was like, man, I thought he tore his ACL. That was one of the hardest catches I've ever seen. And Riedel Anthony, Jaquez Green, and Ike Hilliard. Oh, you taking me back to my youth right there, baby. I love that team. When I think about that's exactly what that Alabama wide receiver core reminds me of. Who's the biggest receiver out of that particular wide receiver core, right? Ike Hilliard, what is he, about 6'1" or something like that? Same thing with Riedel Anthony and Jaquez Green is probably a little smaller than those guys. Steve Spurrier was ahead of his time because that's exactly what Alabama was doing right now with those guys, man. I love that. And then fucking Jaquez Green, right? When I had just broken a business or something like that, I got an alert. It was like, Jaquez Green followed you on Twitter. I was like, damn. It wasn't like I was following him or anything like that. I'm like, ain't that a trip? I love Jaquez Green when I was a kid. Proto at Alabama making catches. Tyrone Proto, man. Shout out to that kid. I wonder how he's doing. JC said Spurrier was hard. What's up with all the R's, man? You know what I'm saying? You gotta hard. You gotta emphasize the A's. Hard. The coolest receiving core ever assembled. Which one? The Florida one? That's my favorite of all time. Is Ike Hilliard, Riedel Anthony, and Jaquez Green. And then right after that shit, that's when they came with Damn, he was on the tip of my tongue. I almost had it. I love when they used to wear them all white jerseys at Florida. What was his name? Who was right after those guys? They had a very good receiver that ended up being in the league. I'm not sure if he was on the team with them. Damn, I forget. Being a UGA fan, I had love and hate for Florida in the 90s. I can. Jabbar Gaffney, yep. There you go. Good job, John. Yeah, Jabbar Gaffney. Was Jabbar number 10? Nurse was the best Florida team you just said. Nurse? That was the best? Who's Nurse? Ricky Johnson struggling. Didn't he call my boy Richard Gary? Now he calling me Nurse. Nurse, that was the best Florida team you just said, 2008. No, the 96 first national championship beat FSU 52-20. There's a big difference between my favorite and what was the best. 2008 versus the 1996 team, that would be hard. That would be a hard matchup right there. That would be hard. Riche Caldwell was number 10. Which one? Nurse? I went to Mirth to Nurse. Nurse? Taylor Jacobs was on the team. I like Taylor Jacobs. Riche Caldwell and them boys. Riche had them eyes like, his eyes like, what's wrong with Riche Caldwell, man? He may have been going off that woody. He was shooting some shit. Like, I like Bubba Caldwell. I like his little brother, Andre Caldwell. Julian Fleming is a very good player. Peter Ward, probably my all-time favorite receiver is Peter Ward and Keyshawn Johnson. Peter Ward, Keyshawn Johnson. I love Peter Ward, man. Richey's brother was bug-eyed. I thought Richey was bug-eyed. Richey was the one that was bug-eyed. His eyes look. He's the first dude with the emoji eyes. He was where they got emoji eyes from. Javon Curse was hard. Have you peeped Ohio State's incoming wide receiver class? It's hard. Of course, 2 Live. Mr. Ohio State. He every day he want me to do something with Ohio State. Yes, the Julian Fleming is hard. Who else? They already had a hard wide receiver class though. What happened to my boy? They got old dude from that came in with Garrett Wilson. There's another dude, Jameson. Jameson something. That dude was hard. Sammy Watkins was an animal in college too. Loved that Clemson team with him and DeAndre Hopkins, man. And they had freaking Martavis Bryant. That was a hard-ass receiving core. That should go down in history. 96 team got revenge on Florida State. Lost to them 2 weeks before. Yep. Charlie Ward was hard. Yeah, Jameson Williams. That dude's hard. He's going to be good, I think. But tell me about it. Who is it? Julian Fleming, and give me the other people in the receiving core for 2020 for Ohio State. Ricky's 5 minutes behind. He what's wrong with your dial up, bro? You got to get that shit cranking. He look like this shit like you got to crank his dial up like crank that soldier boy. Taj Boyd had straight up weapons. Yeah, he did. 2013 FSU. I bet you did hate that shit. They did that long ass intro and shit for Clemson, and Florida State busted that ass. Watkins going to Clemson hurt me to my soul. Where you want him to go? What, Florida fan or something like that? Yeah. Was it G. Scott and Jackson Smith Jigba? That is hard. That's hard. Then Ricky follows up and says, my bat, Murph. Ricky Johnson's having a bad stream, right? What is his stream akin to? Is it like 2 catches for 10 yards, Matt Lander style, 3 drops? No wonder why Taj Boyd was so good at Clemson. See, why is that the case, right? Taj Boyd is so good at Clemson, but Jake Fromm throwing the doo-doo trash, and he sucks, Cletus. Jake Fromm sucks, Cletus. But you got some of these dudes throwing to Sammy Watkins and DeAndre Hopkins and Martavis Bryant all on one receiving core. You don't think take that receiving core and put it on this year's Georgia team with Jake Fromm and see if the shit don't look way different for Jake Fromm. Jake Fromm could be inaccurate as shit. He could be inaccurate as shit and still get 70% in completion percentage with guys like that. CJ Spiller was hard. One of my all-time favorites. Spiller and James Davis. Come on, man. He's in too many emojis. Oh, y'all got to get him up out of there. We have a one emoji rule here. One emoji is cool, right? Even then, you know what I'm saying? You don't see me be on the emoji train like that too hard, right? I'll do the little fire Johns, but a little yellow smiley face? I'm a grown-ass man. You tell me with a little-ass smiley face. Oh, three smiley faces. Reggie Duval with 3 smiley faces. We know what Reggie be doing out there in Jacksonville, Florida. Tavon Austin was hard as a running back, right? That's what I thought. I was like, he's miscast. He is not a receiver. He's somebody's small-ass running back, and that's what I think they learned in the NFL. He's not a good receiver. Reggie Nelson. Love me some Reggie Nelson. That was my dude. Can Jackson Carman, with help from guard a block Chase Young? Yeah, I'm pretty sure anybody with help can guard anyone. It's a double team. What you need to do is for him to hold up with single blocking like Wisconsin did and Penn State before them. Frank Gore was hard. Frank Gore, 48 years old, still hard. Go watch Frank Gore with the Buffalo Bills. Is he still with Buffalo? Oh, Ricky Johnson with these emojis. 1 emoji, bro. 2 emojis means, you know what I'm saying? You probably be slapping salami with your homeboys or even sword fighting with your homeboy. That's not hard. That's a different kind of hard. The Eraser, Reggie Nelson, my favorite all-time player at UF. That junior year he had was absolutely unreal, says John Rayner. Reminded me of the Roy Williams season for Oklahoma. That's hard. Frank Gore has knees made of jello now. Yeah, but he 55 years into his career, and he's still rolling. Chase Young is a media product, hasn't had a sack in 2 games. He's a media product with like 15 sacks, even without a sack in 2 games. How are you a media? He has not had a sack in 2 games and still has like 15 sacks. Don't think he's a media product. Oh, Ricky Johnson trying to get blocked. Come on, Ricky. You know how we do it here, baby. We got savages here. Don't play around. I'm telling you, bro, they're going to get you out of here. I don't know how Jackson Carman is going to be a good test for him with Chase Young is unreal. I would give the advantage to Chase Young, but I think Jackson Carman has a lot of talent, man. Willie Johnson really got that Splenda in his tank. My mom's going to empty that Splenda out your tank, bro. Don't be in here playing around. My boy Joe Horn got indicted today with Clinton Porter. What? Joe Horn Sr.? Oh, snap. Damn, Joe Horn. I like Joe Horn, man. His son, J.C. Horn from South Carolina, played at Alpharetta. Yeah, I was around them a lot, man. Joe Horn is a cool dude, man. We do the picks around the game time, man. I forgot to put that on here on the graphics. We do picks around game time. Don't pop on my screen asking generic questions. Healthcare fraud? Shit. Ricky Johnson rocking that lime green lipstick. Oh, cross-dressing. Darnell Kirkland, what up, bro? And he sat out 2 more. Darnell don't like that comment. Adrian James was hard. That cell phone celebration was hard. Jerome Bettis was hard. Anybody want to tackle Jerome Bettis? That's some scary shit. I ain't gonna front. What do you do? Like, people are definitely afraid to tackle in football because they don't want to catch any knees and shit like that. So somebody like Jerome Bettis, who would already present us kind of a tight target, meaning like he could get small with it and give you nothing but knees and elbows. Dudes didn't want that shit, bro. People will turn down that funk. Lorenzo Neal, what you fuck you gonna do with a Lorenzo Neal? He ain't have a neck, bro. No neck, and he had a face mask from 1931. He's the only dude. It was like 2006, and he still had the single bar face mask, John, and he had the neck roll with no neck. Like what roll? Why are you rolling some shit that ain't there? He had a neck roll. Lorenzo Neal, no parts of that shit. I'm good. I'm Richard Lookout. I'm not Richard Lookout. I'm just saying most people didn't want to hit the. Thank God I never had to hit Jerome Bettis or anybody like that. Anybody out there, you all want to hit Jerome Bettis? Y'all want to hit Mike Allstott? Anybody out here want to hit Mike Allstott? Mike Allstott was like 6'2", 380 and with 0% body fat. Also had a lack of neck. You don't want to hit that dude. Bob Sanders will hit him. He'll hit him. He would hit him. SB, what up, baby? Wipe the feet. Murph, what up? What changes coming to UGA? I came in late. I'm confused. I said that some changes were coming. I think I was just asking, what changes do y'all think on the staff? Well, obviously with the Matt Luke, right, as the offensive line coach. But I was trying to see going beyond that, man. Like, what do you guys want to see happen right there? So a lot of people said that they want to see somebody like a Chip Long come in. I said I would like for Kendall Browse to come in. But I'm going to be honest with you. I'm realistic. I don't think none of that shit happens. They're going to do what they do, baby. Louis says he's good. That's hard. I'm man enough to say I'm good. Not trying to hit with Mike Allstott and Lorenzo Neal. Allstott was on that cushion too. Allstott was definitely on that Brian Cushion. He invented Brian Cushion. Allstott probably weighed 200 pounds total now. He probably weighed 100 pounds total. You know, he was on that shit. When you jump off that type of cushion he was on later on in life, your shit ain't going to look the same. Maurice Clarett was hard. Y'all trying to tackle Gronk? You know what? I'll tackle Gronk, right? So because he can't get low with it, right? He's like 6'7". You know what I mean? Like those guys, that shit is, you know what I'm saying? It's intimidating to a certain point, but the taller it is, it's those lower targets, right? Even like a Maurice Jones-Drew and these guys like that, right? You have nothing, no surface area to hit. With Gronk, at least you think you could probably get him around up under the buttocks area, something like that. Pause. But some of them dudes that can get low and it's all elbows and knees and shit like that, cats don't want that work. Max Strong, oh my God. Max Strong was hard. He had that shit where he would go and blow up his own bicep. His shit was like zzz. Max Strong. Y'all remember Max Strong? That was hard. The guys out there don't remember Max Strong. Who said that? Chuck Ward. What up, Chuck? Oh, the tight end coach Hartley got to go already? How, Sway? What did Todd Hartley do in one season? At tight end, I'm confused. Tight ends was kind of suspect, though. Cam Chancellor wanted that smoke? That's hard. Who's the top 10 guys who always wanted that smoke no matter what? Who never turned down the funk in the NFL or in college football to y'all? Who was the person who always trying to hit no matter what? Christian Okoye? Yeah, I might be good. I might be good. I might be good. I don't want no parts of Christian Okoye. His shit was all knees and elbows. Got to recruit a tight end before you can fire a tight end coach? Damn, that's hard. Marshawn Lynch? Nah, I'm talking about defensive players, though. Ronnie Lott never turned down the funk. John Lynch never turned down the funk. Patrick Willis, never turned down the funk. Steve Atwater, never turned down the funk. Rod Woodson, never turned down the funk. Richard LeCount, never turned down the funk, but also never made a tackle. Odell Thurman, never turned down the funk and never turned down that loud. Mark Barron, never turned down the funk. Sean Taylor, never turned down the funk. Ray Lewis never turned down the funk. John Bostic never turned down the funk. Ray Lewis versus Marshawn Lynch, who you got head up? Man, in those type of situations, when it's even like that, I'm gonna actually give the credit to the running back. That shit is hard. Antonio Morrison never turned down the funk. Greg Blue from Georgia, y'all don't know who Greg Blue is. That dude ain't never turned down no funk. Lawrence Taylor never turned down the funk from old heads like JC. JC an old head. He had to throw in Lawrence Taylor. I like that. Major Wright from Florida never turned down the funk. Roquan Smith from Georgia never turned down the funk. Troy Polamalu never turned down the funk. Keanu Neal, my boy from Florida, never turned down the funk. Urlacher, I don't know. Urlacher turned down the funk one time, bro. We saw him with go look up Brian Urlacher versus Brandon Jacobs. Y'all remember that shit? Urlacher didn't want that funk, man. He got ran over bad. He got ran over bad because he didn't want the funk and he still put himself in harm's way. Somebody go look that up. Derrick Brooks never turned down the funk. Greg Luck, who's that? Earl Thomas never turns down the funk. David Pollock, I don't know about that. David Pollock, I don't know about that. Benjamin Boulware never turned down the funk. Brian Bosworth, JC, old school JC, says Brian Bosworth, he never turned down the funk. Hey, but Brian Bosworth didn't turn down the funk though, but he took a bad one though. We know him from taking a bad one, but hey, that's what I always say, baby. You got to put yourself in position to take a bad one, so that means you didn't turn down the funk. So sometimes you win some, sometimes you lose them. DJ Swearinger is annoying as shit, but he ain't never turned down the funk. He on his 85th team. Can't keep his mouth closed. Pollock is such a clown on TV. Harrison Smith from Notre Dame never turned down the funk. Marcus May from Florida never turned down the funk. Excuse me. Jamal Adams from LSU never turned down the funk. Lawrence Taylor always wanted smoke. He never turned down the funk, but I think he wanted a different kind of smoke as well. Eric Berry, my dude, never turned down the funk. Tim Tebow, what we talking about defensive players? What's wrong with SB? SB don't have a bad stream again, bro. What's wrong with you, SB? Taylor Mays never turned down the funk. Denzel Perryman from Miami never turned down the funk. I love John Lynch, bro. Ooh, boy, that dude was the truth at Tampa and in Denver. Ryan Shazier pre-injury never turned down the funk. All you had to say pre-injury, bro. He's never paid after his injury. All you had to do is say Ryan Shazier. Brandon Spikes never turned down the funk. Mike Peterson, another Florida cat, never turned down the funk. Who said thoughts on Clemson? Like, where you at, bro? I literally just, I told myself, I'm not going to spaz today. I'm not spazzing today. I'm having a great day. I'm just going to direct you. I'm going to direct you, sir, to the actual content on my channel. within the last couple of hours, I put out some content on Thy Clemson University. All you have to do is please watch that. Then you not have to ask me a question about what do I think about something that I just did content on. Nice Murph is back. James Harrison never turned down the phone. Quentin Jammer never turned down the phone. Raymond Luga never turned down the phone. Vontez Burfict never turned down the phone. Takeo Spikes never turned down the phone. Chad Jones never turned down the phone. Brian Dawkins never turned down the phone. LaRon Landry was hard. Bo Jackson made Bosworth retire. What was the LSU safety in 2006? Yeah, that was LaRon Landry. Murph don't be giving out no numbers today. It's gonna be a good not doing that number shit no more. Dante Hightower never turned down the phone. I forget that people out here be straight stone cold like weirdos. Remind me to never give my number out on the internet. Bobby Wagner never turned down the phone. Devin White never turned down the phone. Bob Sanders, another eraser, he never turned down the phone. LaRon was on that Brian Cushing. That's an understatement. Think Lane Kiffin will take Ole Miss back to where Hugh Freeze had them at one point or beyond? You don't have to add. Don't have to add. Dick Lane, what the whoop? Reggie Dix. You got to put Night Train on that shit, baby. We can't just call him a grown-ass man Dick Lane. That would be Night Train Lane, brother. Nobody calls him Dick. Pause. Night Train Lane never turned down the funk. Tim McDonald never turned down the funk. Craig Stelz was 06, 07. Craig Stelz definitely didn't turn down the funk. Yeah, that was a hard defense. LeVar Arrington, Sean Taylor, and LaRon Landry. We're talking about people can't never get right, baby. We're literally talking about defensive players. Anybody that says an offensive player gets a timeout. Greg Blue, we talked about Greg Blue. He'll never turn down the funk. Y'all missing Thomas Davis, too. He'll never turn down the funk. Travis Lewis from Oklahoma never turned down the funk. Travis Lewis caught him and Tebow caught, you know what I'm saying, had a meeting of the minds one time, didn't they? In that championship game? Y'all talking about the ATM fullback Lane Train? Who? He said Night Train Lane, bro. Just look up Night Train Lane. Jonathan Vilma never turned down the phone. I love Jonathan Vilma, man. They already said Rod Wilson. They already said Patrick Willis. KJ Wright from Mississippi State never turned down the phone. Mel Blount never turned down the funk. The dude who hit Reggie Bush in the playoffs, that was Sheldon. He was a cornerback, right? He made Bush get on his knees. Bush was on his knees and shit. Hey, Sheldon, what was his name? Sheldon something. He said that shit was like, I agree too. If you ever caught a hit like that before, right? Well, it's just flush. It's like hitting a home run. It's like a fucking hitting a paper bag or some shit like that. Reggie Bush was on his knees and shit, bro. They had to clean out Reggie's drawers later on that night. His shit was done. Sean Merriman never turned down the phone. Sheldon Brown, yeah, Sheldon Brown. Where did Sheldon Brown play college football at? Steve Atwater, we already talked about, but he deserves another mention because he never turned down the phone. Greg Lloyd from the Pittsburgh Steelers. That was one of mine when I was a little kid. I had one of my teachers in school played with him at Fort Valley State or something like that. He loved Greg Lloyd, so we love Greg Lloyd too. Mean Joe Green, I'm pretty sure he never turned down the funk. Sheldon played at South Carolina. That's hard. Sean Merriman got his funk turned down by MJD. Maurice Jones-Drew put it on Sean Merriman on a blitz pickup, didn't he? Sean Merriman, he was on that Brian Cushing for real too. His shit was never the same. Sean Merriman couldn't lift 175 pounds off that cushion. Yeah, number 95, Greg Lloyd. He had that hard-ass face mask, too. That shit. That was back when it was kind of cool to have that closed face mask. Sorry about that, Murphy. Ain't know about the emoji rule. Guys are clowning me. It was funny, man. Too funny. Got you. Yeah, one emoji is cool. Two emojis. Three or more emojis. Yeah. You and your homeboy slapping salamis. Dwight Freeney and Robert Mathis always brought the funk. Hell yeah. I love that Colts defensive line. Jesse Tuggle, yeah, he didn't turn out the funk. Jadeveon Clowney, Clowney's my dude, man, but I don't know about that. Because he beat up that little Michigan kid on that little handout that everybody showed 50 million times. That dude was 4'6", 117 pounds. And he got his helmet popped off by 6'6", 270-pound Jadeveon Clowney. That's not hard. 2 emojis means you want to eat, drink, and be merry. Whoa. Cornelius Bennett never turned down the funk. Eric Reed definitely never turned down the funk. That's my dude. Ken Norton Jr. never turned down the funk. Rocky McIntosh from Miami never turned down the funk. Craig Ironhead Hayward, I'm confused. We said defensive players, man. I think Joe Miller messed up earlier too. Don't let me find out. Let me find out this dude messed up earlier too, man. Talking about offensive players. Somebody look it up for me. I can't do it. I'm in the middle of a live stream. Reggie White never turned down the funk. Yeah, they already said Ronnie Lott. Bruce Smith never turned down the funk. Matt Elam never turned down the funk. Matt Elam, that's my dude. And Dominican Sue. Damn, you straight butchered his name, but he definitely never turned down the funk. He called him Sue like a chick. Sue. What's wrong with you, man? It's S-U-H. Warren Sapp never turned down the funk. Norton and shit, though. Dan Morgan from Miami never turned down the funk. The Purple People Eaters D-line from the Minnesota Vikings never turned down the funk. And Dominican Sue. That's hard. That's got to be one of y'all's alter ego. And Dominican Sue. Meat Cleaver Weaver. Trip taking us back to like the 40s. Where's that from? Meat Cleaver Weaver. That's a hard-ass name. Meat Cleaver. Carl Joseph at West Virginia never turned down the funk. Big John Henderson never turned down the funk from Tennessee and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Deacon Jones never turned down the funk from the Rams. More of the story, Hall of Famers don't turn down the funk. That is true. Julius Peppers? Hell no, he never turned down the funk. Love Julius Peppers. They already said L. Termins. Janoris Jenkins? I'm confused. You talking about the cornerback? I'm going to say Janoris never turned down the funk. I'll give you that, Kathy. And Domicanned Soup. Uh-oh, y'all about to get on him. Joey Porter. I don't like Joey Porter, man. Something about Joey, but I don't know. Yeah, I ain't like Joey Porter, to be honest with you. I'm going to say he never turned down the funk, but he talked too much to me. Who is that? So one of my dudes, Brandon Marshall. I think Brandon Marshall was going to knock him the fuck out at the Pro Bowl or some shit like that. They was about to get it. I wonder whatever happened to that. Speaking of, man, I saw Brandon Marshall up there talking about he wants to be the heavyweight champion of the world. He been training boxing and shit. He said he think he can beat Deontay Wilder. That boy got CTE. Dexter Coakley, that dude was the truth. That might have been one of the fastest linebackers I've ever seen in my life. He was ahead of his time. They already did Devin White. Joey Porter wanted smoke as a coach. He did. I'll give him that. That's because he knew that he wasn't going to actually fight someone on the field, though. I want to see dudes like that who run their mouth. I want to see them really step up to the plate, though, and get it popping. Uh-oh. And Dominican Suit. And Dominican Suit. Come on, man. Why y'all be getting on people out here, man? That's why people don't want to come to the stream. Y'all think I'm savage. The people, y'all said the top people of top billing here be super savages. Chris McAllister from the Baltimore Ravens never turned down the funk. Marshall wouldn't beat Andrew Tabiti, says Darnell Kirkland. Marshall resents that. He said, damn, Andrew Tabiti, he's the cruiserweight. He said he want to fight a heavyweight champ. Damn, Darnell, why you do that man like that? Lynch eating too much Skittles these days to fight? Shit, I don't know, man. He powered by Skittles, baby. Get your ass whooped up there talking about Marshawn. Marshawn Lynch is an incredible athlete. I remember one time, I don't know why. I was by the away team bus after the Falcons game one time, and it was when they played Seattle. And that mama jumma hopped a guardrail, right? Just like off of a vertical leap. And he was the biggest one. I swear he had to have been 235, 240 pounds. He hopped that shit like it was nothing in full clothes and jeans and everything like that. Marshawn Lynch was incredible, man. Anyone say the GOAT Darrelle Revis? I don't know if I wouldn't put him in the funk categories. I don't think Darrelle Revis was that hard. Rondé Barber never turned down the funk. Darrelle Revis was a hell of a cover guy, though. Probably one of the all-time greats in cover guys. Not probably. He's one of the all-time greats. Skittles, See the Rainbow. Terrell Suggs never turned down the funk. Russell Maryland, dang, you going back. Russell Maryland was the truth. When he had a weird number, right? He was like 67 as a defensive tackle. Maurice Hurst from Michigan. Maurice Hurst was a bad dude, but he had a funny leg or some shit, right? Greg Reed. Who's Greg Reed? Let me find out you're talking about offensive players, man. Does anybody in here say offensive players that get blocked or get a timeout? Jack Tatum never turned down the funk. Yeah, they already said Lawrence Taylor. Ricky, you're having a bad stream, bro. Ricky has now gone 0 for 10. He's like he having like a Jake Fromm first half. He's having a Jake Fromm 2019 Jake Fromm first half. Luke Kuechly never turned down the funk. Ron Artest, come on, what's wrong with these people? That freshman cornerback at LSU is the truth. He's very good, man. But you're on the wrong channel. I've been said that shit way before the season started. That's an easy eval. Rick at 30% completion right now. Damn, that's worse than Fromm. Who was doing 30% back in the days? He's on that what's my boy Xavier Lee from Florida State. Him and Drew Weatherford. They both would combine to be like 3 for 13. He's 1 for 7 with -4 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Damn, that's hard. Reuben Foster, nah, he never turned down the phone. Derek Thomas, nah, we didn't mention Derek Thomas. He definitely never turned down the phone. Daniel D said he just checked in and he wiped his feet. Where we at? Somebody give me a thumbs up check, man. Y'all know I can't see the thumbs up. Where we at? Quentin Williams? He's a down. I don't know if you can say that he was a funk guy, right? It's a big difference. Turning down the funk meaning you got to meet up head on with some hard ass collisions and you're good. Quentin Williams was not a collision type guy, right? He's already on the line of scrimmage, so it's hard. Ricky Johnson said Ray Lewis. Like, who the fuck wouldn't say Ray Lewis probably was the first person that everybody's gonna always think of. That dude done missed another six throws. So what is old boy's stats now? Ricky Johnson is struggling. This is one of his worst streams I've seen. This is one of them Tommy Chu streams. 192 thumbs up. Damn, that's it? Man, come on, man. I'm cooking right here, baby. These fake ass Murphs can't fuck with me. Let's go. Let's get it. Let's get the thumbs up popping, baby. I need to be at least 225 or something. Chris Jenkins from the Carolina Panthers. That's hard. He ain't never turned down the phone. Yeah, he missed another 6 throws, but he's 1 for 13 with -4 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. That man is having the game of his life. Negatively. He body slammed Jordan Jefferson. Who did? Don't ever mention haters. This is what you do. Don't ever mention haters. I don't know why I got to keep telling people that shit. Don't mention thumbs down and all that shit like that. That's what they want to be mentioned. They want that shit, right? That's what they always going to watch. That's what they do. Haters, they always watch. So nobody cares about that shit. We only care about the positive shit. Terrence Cody. See, I think y'all just naming people now, right? We really should just be naming linebackers and safeties. I allowed y'all to do some of these down linemen, but linebackers and safeties are the guys who have to take on high collision plays. Lorenzo Carter. You must be his cousin or something like that. That's just weird. Turn down the funk, man. Who we talking about here? All right, y'all done ruined it. Navarro Bowman, that's a good one. He never turned down the funk. He worse than Nathan Peterman? That's hard. Bob Sanders, they already did Bob Sanders. Come on, fam. You know they're going to do Troy Polamalu. Don't name anybody. If you come in this stream now, don't name anybody that's popular. You know the people have already said it. We've been doing this shit like 10 minutes. Arnie Lott already been said. Bakari Rambo, that's new. Bakari never turned down the funk. Cam Chancellor was already said. Nasruddin from FSU, nah, he don't be turning down the funk. Diggs? Who's Diggs? Niall Diggs is what we're talking about. Kathy, let me know what Diggs you talking about. Derwin James never turned down the funk. Great one, Conley. That came out. That was dope. How we miss him? Oh, that's what's happening. Lester Hayes never turned down the funk. Landon Collins definitely never turned down the funk. Jalen Ramsey, nah, he don't turn down the funk. The Seahawks safety Diggs. Seahawks safety named Diggs. Y'all remember a Seahawks safety named Diggs? Quandre Diggs? Ooh. Some good boxing on. Some good boxing this weekend. Rubber Band Man. Rubber Band Man does not turn down the funk, though. I will give him that. He does not turn down the funk. However, he does not get anybody on the ground either. It's Quandre Diggs. That's what his name. He's the Seattle Seahawks safety now. Anyone named Reggie Nelson? Pac-Man Jones. I think Pac-Man may have turned down a funk or two in his career. Really? You don't think people name Sean Taylor? He's only like Tupac. He's the Tupac of football. You know they named him real quick. Eric Weddle never turned down the funk. People get down with the rubber band man. People get down. What does that mean? It sounds like a song. People get down with the rubber band man. The hell you talking about, Matthew? The linebackers on Auburn in the mid-2000s. Carlos played for the Cardinals for a couple of years. Carlos Dansby. You got to spell that with a K. Carlos Dansby never turned down the phone. I love Carlos Dansby. And he was a kind of a, you can actually use him in pass rush situations too. Michael Sam. I don't think we can do that joke on here. Right? I'll joke about somebody that is that don't think they have Splenda in their tank, but he has Splenda in his tank. We can't joke about that. It's only so far I'll go. Ryan Shazier used to deliver some blows. Pause. The Griffin brothers. Which one, man? Cedric and Michael never turned down the funk from Texas. Jack Lambert. Deion Sanders. That's hard. Deion Sanders definitely turned down the funk, JC. He didn't want no parts of nothing. Deion Sanders probably will be out there windmill punching. Actually, it was funny, though. He didn't want no parts of that in football, but I bet you wouldn't throw hands with Deion Sanders. His hand speed was fantastic. He had that Roy Jones Jr. hand speed when he went upside Andre Rison head. Andre Rison still concussed from that fight. And he had on the helmet. There's a recruit in a recruiting class that has Splenda in his tank. Which recruiting class are we talking about here, bro? You're represented by 50 different teams in here. Let me know which recruiting class we're talking about right here. Then I'll let you know if I want to broach that. D'Amico Ryan, my dude from Alabama, never turned down the funk. Sean Merriman, I don't know about Sean Merriman. Trey Blackman never turned down the funk from Auburn. The Honey Badger never turned down the funk. Griffin from UCF. Oh, the Griffin brothers. Oh, Shaquille and Shaquem. See, he new school. I'm an old school head. If I think about the Griffin brothers, I'm thinking about them dudes from Texas. Mike Vrabel never turned down the funk. Shaquille O'Neal. I'm confused. That's when it happens when you try to make a joke, man, at the wrong. Don't do it here, baby. We joke, but then we also serious, man. We you know what I'm saying? We savages, baby. You don't want a name drop, though? Then why you mention it? You said you don't want a name drop. I just said name the, which team are you talking about? Who's your team, bro? What team are we talking about? Then I'll see if I can, you know what I'm saying, if I can put two and two together. Marcus Ray from Michigan? Is he from Michigan? Junior Seau, God rest his soul, man. I loved Junior Seau when I was a kid. Never turned down the phone. He's not committed. I'm just saying there's a top recruit who's like that. Oh. Well, I don't know what you're talking about then. Yeah, somebody, Reggie Duval called him Dick Lane. Nobody's ever referred to him as Dick Lane but Reggie Duval. Marcus Ray from Michigan, yeah, he was hard. Owen Papo was 88 out the gate. Very confused by this. What does that mean? When? Have I missed something with Owen or OP? Darren Woodson. They already named Darren Woodson 45 minutes ago. We should get back into backs who brought the funk. He knocked Lattimore out of the bowl game. That's hard. All right, y'all. I got just a little bit to go. We can get into which running backs brought the funk before I get out of here. Which running backs brought the funk, right? Physical running backs. Don't start talking about defensive backs and shit now. We're just talking about physical running backs who that nobody wanted to tackle. We already had said like Mike Allstott and Max Strong and Lorenzo Neal. Kendall Fuller. I'm very confused. Leonard Fournette always brought the funk. Adrian Peterson always brought the funk. Adrian Peterson's my dude. Greg Jones always brought the funk, and he was on that Brian Cushing. Ty Gurley always brings the funk. Michael the Burner Turner, one of my favorites, always brought the funk. Marion the Barbarian always brought the funk, says Pat. Derrick Henry didn't used to actually bring the funk until he was about a junior. And then he brought the funk as a junior. Now he brings that funk for real. Just like Najee. Najee was Splendor type to me. You know what I mean? He was type Splendor. Now he brings the funk. Got to give him his props. Earl Campbell always brought the funk. Tim Biaka Batuka always brought the funk. You butchered his name, though. Murphy's committed to Miami, one of their top defensive recruits. Okay, I'll get on it. Robert Newhouse always brought the funk. Trent Richardson always brought the funk. Fred Taylor always brought the funk. Love me some Fred Taylor. Jonathan Stewart from Oregon and the Carolina Panthers always brought the funk. Jamal Anderson. I don't know if I could do Jamal Anderson jokes, can I? I'm not gonna lie, I think Jamal Anderson had a little splendor in his tank, though. I'm gonna be honest with you. But you ain't want to tackle that dude. He was like Mark All-Star for real. But you don't want to be caught up in the shower, in the bathroom stall with him either. Darius Geis always brought the funk. Thurman Thomas always brought the funk. Rashawn Salam, R.I.P. to Rashawn Salam, always brought the funk. J.K. Dobbins. Man, please. LaDainian Thompson, the man trying to sneak in his current players in. Walter Payton always brought the funk. Steven Jackson, I love Steven Jackson, always brought the funk. Christian Okoye definitely always brought the funk. O.J. Simpson always brought the funk. Marshall Faulk always brought the funk. Not a big TJ Duckett fan here. Obviously, you definitely must be new on the stream here. Everybody should know about the Murph TJ Duckett fight story. What do you think of Norvell hire at FSU? He gonna sneak that shit in. All he had to do was watch the last stream when 45 people asked me to 2 days ago. I like the Norvell hire, man. I'm not say that I'm over the moon with it, though, or whatever like that. That's just because I wanted Bob Stoops or Urban Meyer, somebody like that. I was thinking, like, man, it's the Mecca. They're going to grab themselves a Mecca-type coach, a legend or something like that. But Mike Norvell, I think, might end up being the hire that they needed. So I just going to take me some time to adjust to that. Jamal Lewis definitely always brought the funk. You know what I'm saying? Don't be talking over the phone but to Jamal Lewis about your business. He might get you jammed up and in the federal penitentiary. Jim Brown always brought the funk. Warren Dunn definitely did not bring the funk. Warwick Dunn didn't bring the funk either. He was like a shifty type of guy. He was not trying to run nobody over. Dalvin Cook running people over? I don't know about that. Y'all just naming people now. They have to be physical. Cadillac Williams always brought the funk. Ricky Williams, love Ricky Williams. Always brought that guy, Ricky Williams jersey. Miami Dolphins, I still got that shit too. Always brought the funk. Sean Alexander was a hard as nails, right? Sean might have a little splendor in his tank too. So those are always the one. You don't want to be trying to tackle them dudes that got splendor in their tanks. Them be the hardest dudes to tackle, I'm not gonna lie. That splendor be juicing them up. They run right through you like a paper bag. They run right through you like a paper bag. Natron Means always brought the funk. Marcus Dupree always brought the funk. Shout out to Marcus Dupree. I was on a guest on a radio station one time, and he had called in, like, surprise call in, like, right before I came on. That shit was hard. Herschel Walker always brought the funk. Andy Katzenmoyer. What did I say? Do not name a defensive player. What happened? And who is it? Sir Dior. Cecil the Diesel Collins always brought the funk. You taking me back. Shout out to my man Murph for always giving the Clemson the credit they deserve. Murph always keeps it real. I don't even pay attention to shit like that because the minute if I said something about one of these teams that they don't like, then they be like, Murph is a lion. He biased. Elijah Holyfield always brought the funk. Tyrone Wheatley always brought the funk. Eddie George always brought the funk. Tommy Frazier always brought I love Tommy Frazier, one of my top 10 all-time favorite players ever. Rudy Johnson Rudy Johnson went to Auburn, didn't he? Oh, he always brought the funk. Lindale White always brought the funk. Frank Gore always brings the funk still. Emmitt Smith, I think of Emmitt Smith as more kind of like a shifty guy. Or just a kind of a one-cut-and-go type. I don't remember him being just super physical. Maybe I'm tripping, though. Corey Dillon definitely always brought the funk. You wouldn't want to tackle that dude. Ali Broussard from LSU always brought the funk. Samaje Perine would lay your ass into a coma. Denard Robinson, that doesn't make sense to me. Like, I don't remember Denard Robinson any type of crazy collisions. Do you guys understand what's going on? What bringing the funk means? It's not just name your favorite player. It's name somebody who was super physical that you did not want to tackle who would run you over. Eddie George, they named. Garrison Hurst always brought the funk. The number 44 who played with Phillip Rivers his freshman year. Damn, who was the back at NC State that year? Never seen anybody run hard like Earl Campbell, T.J. Duckett. I'm have to give him his credit. I don't know, man. They used to call T.J. Duckett the tiptoe burglar, though. Maybe that's why, you know what I'm saying, I thought that I, you know what I'm saying, could knock him out. That's why that's why me and my boys was talking crazy to T.J. Duckett, because he was a tiptoe burglar. Jeremy Hill always brought the funk. Spencer Ware always brought the funk. Trip Davidson, I feel like, is behind in the stream. He said, is he related to Diggs from Bama? I feel like we already did the Quandre Diggs shit like 5 minutes ago. Like, he going to have to update his stream. You're going to have to refresh your modem. Who was number 47 running back from Georgia when he had Hines Ward beat Florida? Oh, was that Robert Edwards? Let me know, Georgia fans out there. Was that Robert Edwards who was number 47? He was hard. Terrell Davis always brought the funk. They know, come on, fam. You know they're going to name Marshawn Lynch the first thing anybody going to think about will be Marshawn Lynch. Jason Snelling. I'll give Jason Snelling credit. He brought the funk. Mark Ingram definitely always brought the funk. Reggie Brooks from Notre Dame. How come I don't remember Reggie Brooks from Notre Dame? Falcons passed on Rodney Hamilton for that cat. Ironhead Hayward was the worst pick ever. Man, that's hard. Toby Gerhardt from Stanford. Oh my God, you ain't want to tackle that dude. And he had some wheels on him too. Bo Scarborough as a junior or whatever, or a sophomore, whatever, before he got to be the man, when he was just Derrick Henry's backup, brought the funk. But then afterwards, I don't know. I don't know what happened, man. I don't know what happened. I like Bo Scarborough too. Maurice Jones-Drew always brought the funk. Jets running back. Oh, the Brooks kid? I'm confused. Jonathan Dwyer's at Georgia Tech. I love Jonathan Dwyer's. He always brought the funk. JC confirmed the Robert Edwards thing. Yeah, Brandon Jacobs got mentioned back there the first time we started doing this earlier. Josh Jacobs always brought the funk. Thurman Thomas brought the funk from Buffalo Bills. Come on, fam. Anybody come in here naming Marshawn Lynch, you really think people are going to let Marshawn Lynch go on a brought the funk thing? He was the first person they named. Josh Nesbitt at Georgia, he did always brought the funk. Mac Edge, what up, baby? Where you been? He said he liked the overlay. There you go. Hopefully people can see the overlay about the shirts or whatever like that, but you can clearly see what the email is right there, unless you're Marco Polo. Melvin Gordon, I think of as more as a slasher, though. I don't think Melvin Gordon really brings the funk like that. I love Melvin Gordon, but I think of him more kind of he'll run to a certain spot real hard, kind of like what I used to say about Travis Etienne. But I don't see Melvin Gordon squaring somebody up and just running him over. Marcus Lattimore from South Carolina, I love that dude, man. He was so damn good. He was on his way to being a legend. He was very good, man. He is shifty, but will hit too. Who? No, I'm talking about, I don't think anything's shifty about Melvin Gordon. He just seems like a one-cut-and-go type runner like Travis Etienne or like a DeMarco Murray, where they're just running hard to a spot, not necessarily will run you over. Like, you can break tackles without running someone over. You're just running hard. Like, if I'm running to the TV over there or whatever like that, I'm going to run straight to the TV other than running through you. That's just two different ways of operating and being physical. All Wisconsin backs bring the funk. Le'Veon Bell, no, he be out there dancing and shit, bro. Le'Veon Bell, that motherfucker be out there like Beach Street, or he be out there, I don't know about that. Reggie Brooks played tailback when Jerome Bettis was the fullback. Now, that's hard. Musa Smith always brought the funk. Ron Dane definitely always brought the funk. Larry Johnson from Penn State, he always brought the funk. And this shit, he had a screw loose. It's one of them, they got a screw loose and they bring the funk, you don't want no parts of that shit. Matt Jones from Florida, that dude was huge. He always brought the pause. He always brought the funk. Priest Holmes, I don't know. They used to talk about Priest Holmes a little bit. Like, he made a little bit of stevia and Splenda in his tank. I'm not sure if he brought the funk. Nick Chubb definitely always brought the funk. Travis Henry from Tennessee, loved that Tennessee team, man. I love that 97 Tennessee team, or 98. All that Tennessee. You know, Peyton Manning is my all-time favorite, so anything in that time period, Tennessee, I loved it. John L. Williams? I'm confused. Come on, John L. Williams, the He was the interim head coach at Arkansas. He used to be John L. Williams used to lay people out. Or was that John L. Smith? Lindell White? Oh, no doubt. Sean Shivers not running. Oh, because he ran over Xavier McKinney. Y'all gonna get off my boy X, the X Factor. LeGarrette Blount always brought the funk. You know what's funny though? LeGarrette Blount brought the funk, and then I think later on in his career, like, remember I used to be at the Dome watching that man not get a yard like 50 million times when he played with Tampa. I think he got a little tiptoe burglar in him after a while. He started taking them hits. When you tall like that and you take them hits, you don't be wanting to take them shits for that long. Henry has like 20 kids. Hey, man, I'm getting on that man because he getting it in the bed. What, you mad? You mad? Oh, you mad because he's styling on you. You people sleep on Jamal Lewis. Shit, they already said Jamal Lewis. What you talking about? We been said that shit. And we said do not talk to that man on the phone because he'll have you all in the federal penitentiary and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to deal drugs with Jamal Lewis. I'm good, Jamal. I'll deal my drugs somewhere else. Willis McGahee, he always brought the funk. I be seeing Swift trying to run people over too. Are you new? DeAndre Swift has ran over all kinds of dudes. He put old dude in a coma from Florida. He put old boy in a coma from A&M too. Curtis Enos from Penn State. Hard. Always brought the funk. Yeah, they already said Spencer Ware. The fridge, when they put him in at running back, he definitely brought the funk. Yeah, you know they said Earl Campbell like the first 10. All right, is that it, y'all? Yeah, they already said Holyfield. People been said Brandon Jacobs. Clem Portis was already said. John L. Williams was a Gators running back drafted in 86. Oh, okay. I ain't know nothing about that, bro. That's before my time. Swift broke Chauncey Gardner's collarbone. Yeah, he did. Chauncey Gardner's shit was done. I don't know if Chauncey recovered from that shit. Yeah, they been said Jeremy Hill, I'm sorry. James Davis from Clemson, my dude. Thriller and Spiller brought the funk. Yeah, somebody said Mike Hart, but did Mike Hart really bring the funk? I always thought of Mike Hart as being very shifty. Are y'all just naming your favorite players? Brought the funk means they're physical. What's physical about Mike Hart? He was shifty as shit. I'm confused by that. I just got to name my favorite player because I want him to be named. We're talking about physical running backs. Mike Hart was great, but I don't remember anything really physical about Mike Hart. You know they said Lack Williams real quick. Carlos Williams from Florida State, he definitely brought the funk. They say MJD Daniel. Oh, started the whole thing, bro. Mike Hart was a scat back, says Michael Johnson. These dudes just be naming their dudes. They just be on that Me Too movement. Say my guy too, Murph. Work done. Work done. That shit didn't make sense. Hart was straight downhill. Well, he was like a one cut and go guy, right? There's a difference between one cut and go. But he was like one cut and go and trying to. I don't remember Mike Hart running nobody, sizing somebody up and running them over. M. Neal, what up? Ironhead Hayward was definitely already mentioned. Kareem Hunt, he definitely brought the funk. They said Steven Jackson like 25 minutes ago, bro. You got to get your internet checked. Chuck Muncie from the Chargers. Man, you might be old school. Old school. Where we at? Y'all just naming people now. Y'all like RG3. Well, I'm confused. What did RG3? RG3 did something wrong? Maurice Jones-Drew, what we talking about, man? They said Maurice Jones-Drew at least 38 minutes ago. You got to update your internet, NVIDIAs. I got to hit refresh. D'Angelo Williams, that was my dude from Memphis and the Carolina Panthers. He always brought the funk, man. The dude who played before Steven Jackson at Oregon State, dude was 5'9", 195, but he brought it. Damn, before, shit. Was he before? No, he was after. There's a coach right now at like Wyoming. I got his number. He played at Oregon State. Man, I don't remember the guy right before Steven Jackson. Oh, Ezekiel Elliott. Wow. No, nobody said Ezekiel Elliott. He definitely always brought the funk. And Ezekiel, though, I will say this, though. I think Ezekiel is more of a one cut and go kind of guy. Not necessarily sizing people up. He's more of a speed, one cut and go type, outrun you type. Jacquizz Rodgers always brought the funk. Yeah, they already said Marion the Barbarian. Mike Weber, from Ohio State, he always brought the funk. Yeah, I can't believe Zeke went that long, too. And I can't believe 2 Live wasn't the one to say it. Was an OSU guy named Rogers? Well, Jacquizz played after Steven Jackson, though. Because remember when they played in the same backfield for the Atlanta Falcons, Steven Jackson was in his last year, and Jacquizz Rogers is still playing. Benny Snell from Kentucky definitely always brought the funk. You know who else slipped your mind too, Live? Carlos Hyde. And that dude always brought the funk. Pause. What did I say? I'm confused. What did I say? I gotta pause it. What about pausing? Weber was less downhill than Hart. Shit. Mike Weber? You crazy. Mike Weber was running cats over. Y'all trying to make Mike Hart be a little bit more than what he was. I like Mike Hart. Mike Hart's one of my favorite dudes, but I don't think of him as running someone over. James Conner from Pittsburgh, both Pittsburghs, the Steelers and the Panthers, bringing that funk. Darren McFadden running people over. I think of him more as kind of just a flat-out speed merchant. Stephen Davis from Auburn and then the Carolina Panthers, he bring that funk. That was a big dude. Pause. Eric Bieniemy. I like Eric Bieniemy. That's my dude. He's is he still an offensive coordinator? Shout out to Eric Bieniemy. If he is, he definitely was bringing the funk. They already said D'Angelo Williams. I had D'Angelo Williams jersey shirt. That was my dude. The old white dude from the Dolphins in the 70s. Was that John Riggins? We got to get John. Where my boy JC at? JC, tell us about John Riggins. Who did he play for? William Green. He was bringing the funk. They said Fournette. I think Fournette was literally the first person mentioned. It's Tom Murray. What are you thinking of Matt Luke hire? You got to go to patreon.com/committed to the G, bro. Nobody had that shit before your boy Murph. That running back from Boston College, we talking about William Green? But yeah, I think Matt Luke is a good hire, man, for sure. I think he may end up, maybe not the recruiter, but depends on where you're recruiting at, right? If he can really recruit Mississippi and stuff like that, I think that's a coup for the University of Georgia. That's where I would recruit at. I don't like Florida football like that. The state of Florida, right? It's more of a skill-driven area, right? I want my area to be driven by trench play. Andre Williams, Andre Williams was the truth. He definitely brought the funk. Peyton Hillis from Arkansas always brought the funk. Ray Rice, surprisingly, yeah, you're right, B. Wyman. Nobody said Ray Rice. That's a good one. Ray Rice always brought the funk. From Rutgers and the Baltimore Ravens. Yeah, people already said Tim Biakabatuka, T. Davis. That was a good spelling of it, though. Your man, somebody else butchered that shit. Redskins, you talking about John Riggins? Ricky Waters from Notre Dame always brought the funk. Come on, fam. You think we're going to go 500 minutes and somebody's not going to say Adrian Peterson? Really? He was the first or second person brought up. Toby Gerhart, they already mentioned as well. He definitely was always bringing the funk. Deuce McAllister from the Saints and Ole Miss. He definitely always brought the funk. Come on, fam. You know they said Maurice Jones-Drew before. He called him Maurice Drew-Joned. Maurice Drew-Joned. That's hard. That's going to be one of your alter egos. Maurice Drew-Joned. Riggins played for the Redskins. Yeah. We sorted that out. Franco Harris definitely always brought the funk. My boy JC bringing his old school. He bringing an old head, the old vibe. Mike Davis from South Carolina. He used to bring the funk for sure. He's still in the league, isn't he? Teron Ward. Where did Teron Ward play at? He's in the league right now, isn't he? Yeah, come on, fam. You know they said the bus. Cedric Benson. That's a good one right there. People talking about the bus like somebody not going to say Jerome Bettis. He was only mentioned 580 times within the last 5 minutes. But damn, Cedric Benson, he always brought the funk. Man, God rest his soul, man. Damn, Cedric Benson gone. Billy Sims from Oklahoma always brought the funk. Jim Thorpe. That nobody know who Jim Thorpe is actually but JC. JC's the only dude in the world who knew that Jim Thorpe was just not a little trophy. Don't know anything about Jim Short. I'm going to have to take your word for it. JC says Jim Thorpe was bringing the funk. Let me find out, though, JC, that your boy Jim Thorpe had a little splint in his tank, and he was up there trying to muscle relax people, and he was scared. Yeah, I know, B. Wyman. That's crazy, man. Tyler Gaffney? I don't remember Tyler Gaffney. Dalton Hilliard always was bringing the funk, says Larry Sane. Taysom Hill from BYU and the Saints, he be bringing the funk. I love Taysom Hill. Teron Ward at Oregon State. Was he the guy before? Yeah, they already named LeGarrette Blount and Ali Broussard and Mike Allstott. Cole says, Murph, thanks for the Clemson video. I'm just wondering how Clemson will be with Galloway at the tight end. You mean him and all of his 5 catches? Why them people are always hung up on whatever is like not there. Like Braden Galloway literally has 5 catches in his entire career, I believe. Like, what are we talking about here? Like, come on, fam. He's not no actual catches against legitimate opponents either. I think you're wishing upon a star. You're going to have to run with what you brung, baby. I would just concentrate on that. Now, what if he adds something to the mix? Then that's a bonus. But other than that, fam, there's no way you can be counting on some guy who has 5 catches and like 3 of them against like Murray State or something like that. Sony Michel? Nah, he didn't never always bring the funk. He was a one cut and go type guy. I think of Sony Michel as that. Might be even kind of a make you miss kind of guy. LaDainian Thompson always brought the funk. TJ Yeldon? Nah, TJ Yeldon was shifty, bro. And he's one of my favorites, but he was shifty. I wouldn't consider him always bringing the funk. He would always fall forward, though. That was a good thing about TJ Yeldon, but he wasn't sizing nobody up and running them over. He would make you miss before that. Gaffney was the running back. Oh, that Gaffney. Yeah. That dude was hard. That was hard. Isn't he a coach or something now? Yeah, they already named Darren McFadden, but I don't think of Darren McFadden as running somebody over. Trent Richardson was already named. Adrian Peterson from Georgia Southern. I don't know about the Georgia Southern version one. I thought he was kind of a one cut and go. Cedric Faison from Florida. Ooh, boy. Always brought the funk. Yeah, they been named Fred Teller. Everybody got a name Nick Chubb. Like we don't know Nick Chubb. But they've named him 50 times. We already gave Nick Chubb his flowers. Sean Green from Iowa always brought the funk. They running out of names. They been named Marcus Dupree, JC. Some old head beat you to the punch. Pam tried to slide the Nick Chubb on us like we ain't heard Nick Chubb 85 times in the last 10 minutes. Jerome Bettis with a G. I don't know who that Jerome Bettis is, but the other one, come on, fam. There's no way in hell you would think that people wouldn't be naming the bus. You got to get some creativity in life, people. Herschel Walker, really? Nobody named Herschel Walker? Pam? Pam's having a bad stream. What is Pam's completion percentage? I'm just glad nobody said James Cook. Why you just said James Cook? Why'd you have to bring his name up? I was like, man, we about to get it because I'm about to leave. We about to get through a stream. Nobody's going to say James Cook's name. Thomas Jones always brought the funk. And his brother, right? Julius Jones. Now, Julius was probably a little bit more of a slasher. Yeah, they've been named Samaje Perine. Wayne Gallman, I don't know about that. Thanks, James. I appreciate you, man. I love talking to you guys, so it's all good. Tim Worley at the University of Georgia, he was hard. Was it Worley or Wansley? One of these dudes I played with like in a semi-pro league. Mark Ingram we've been named Mark Ingram. Dante Foreman. Is Dante Foreman in the NFL? Did somebody pick him up after he was cut from the Texans? I love that dude. He had to been one of the biggest, fastest dudes ever. I think he was pushing like a 4.4 right at like over 230 pounds. No Sean Moreno. I think you're just naming people now, Pam. You struggling. No Sean Moreno was a super shifty guy. I think that was his problem, right? He was just too shifty. I think he just liked to make people miss. Listen, Pam. Pam does not understand. Pam, we're talking about people who will size you up and run you over. You can't just name all your favorite Georgia running backs. I have no clue when the next stream is, bro. Brad Lester? Marty's like, let me just name all Auburn running backs. Brad Lester, who was he running over? And shout outs to Brad Lester, whatever like that. I'm not gonna lie, me and him were supposed to do some business together, but he had some bad shit come up on him. Well, I don't know if I could work with that dude no more. And it was very Splendor related. I don't want to put that man's business out there, but just don't Google Brad Lester. He had some Splendor shit going on, and your boy Murph had to pack up the ship, not working with him. Did anyone say Jamal Anderson? Another Splendor guy. They did say Jamal Anderson. Was one of the most popular football players in current college football or current NFL or in college football named James? Yes, Derrick Henry was named right away. Edgerrin James, oh yeah, always brought the funk for sure. Jim Brown always brought the funk. Was that our first Jim Brown mention? Williams and Brown at Auburn was amazing to watch. Yeah, Cadillac Williams and probably my all-time favorite duo. Lack Will and Ronnie Brown. Lake Seastrunk definitely was not bringing the funk like that. He was a speed guy. They been said O.J. Simpson. Eddie Lacy brought the funk for real. Dang, can't be messing around with that Splendor. I won't. Can't do it. Won't do it. I want winners. Bo Scarborough. Amon Green from Nebraska. Yeah, what was he calling him? The Dark Knight or some shit like that. I love Amon Green. Larry Zonka from the Dolphins. Yeah, I think that's who somebody was talking about earlier from the 70s. Larry Zonka that dude was the dude. Yeah, we already said James Davis, bro. You late. Brad Lester, definitely very Splendor-ish. You must have Googled it. I was like, I can't work with Brad Lester now. I'm afraid. Mo Phillips against UF title game. Mo Phillips. Shit. Damn. What am I thinking about? Maurice Phillips? That was his name? What was Phillips' name? That played with Tommy Frazier in Nebraska and them. That dude, Lawrence Phillips. You said Mo Phillips. That's his name. Also, you threw me off. Lawrence Phillips from Nebraska. One of my all-time favorite players. Another, damn, God rest his soul. What's up with the running backs, man? Lawrence Phillips from Nebraska was the true big-ass, fast dude like that. I thought he was going to kill the NFL. Man, y'all got me popping, man. I'm about to go back and watch some old Nebraska shit tonight. Brad Lester had them naked pics. Oh, no. Oh, no. Why you Google him, man? I said don't Google him. Brandon Jacobs definitely brought the funk, but people already said that 50 million times. We named anyone out of West Virginia. I don't think West Virginia had anybody who didn't bring the funk, though. Or who would bring the funk. Eric Crouch. Yeah, he brought the funk. I would give Eric Crouch that. Eric Crouch would definitely run somebody over. Matt Jones from Florida, they been named him. Peepin' Lester. said T. I forget what exactly he did. I just remember at the time. I'm not joking. You know me. I don't lie about shit. We were supposed to be doing some business together, and I remember just shit came out, and I was like, yeah, that's over. Vernon says Lawrence Phillips. Yeah, you said Mo Phillips. I'm like, damn, why I can't think of Mo Phillips, especially at Nebraska. Yeah, that was my shit when I was a little kid. Rest in peace, Lawrence Phillips. We're naming guys who brought the funk as running backs. I always thought David Johnson was David Johnson is definitely a one-cut guy. Talking about the guy who plays at Arizona right now. A-Train, Anthony Thomas from Michigan, always brought the funk. Jamal Charles, Houseway. Come on, fam. We might have to time you off of that. Jamal Charles, he's the epitome one-cut-and-go guy. He is definitely not going to run anybody over. Cam Akers. Man, Cam, I'm going to give Cam his credit. King Cam always brings the funk. I love King Cam, man. I wonder if Cam will stay for a senior year. You think somebody didn't name Marshawn Lynch Russ? Really? Champagne Russ? Champagne Russ, I know he be having a night job and shit. He probably just woke up and shit. Russell, really? You would think somebody would go all this time and not name. He was the first person named. And he was only named 48 other times. Let's name the best jump ball receivers. How about we don't? How about you let me run my shit? The fuck out of here. How about you super chat? You trying to change the subject. All right, y'all. Appreciate it. Thank you guys, as always. It was fun. I'm not sure when I'll be back. Maybe I'll come back on the weekend or something like that. We chilling out. Nothing popping, but it's going to be always rocking right here up at Billin Sports. So we'll keep coming with this. But we definitely got to hammer down recruiting now. So Get on your recruiting tips, and let's get it popping with the recruiting shit, right? Take a little break from the action or whatever like that, which we can't totally take a break, but definitely going to ramp up recruiting and talk about that for all your respective teams. So any last words there? Somebody get Isaiah up out of here, please. Kellen says he misses it again. Come on, fam. There's always the replay. Don't sleep on the replays. A.J. Dillon, that dude hard from Boston College. My man tried to change another man's channel subject. I know, right? Let's talk about the receivers without a super chat, too. JC says, cool hat, Murph. Cool hats and shirts. Appreciate it, JC, as always. Share a moment with me to say goodbye to Brian Harrion juke moves. All right, everybody, rest in peace to Brian Harrion's 1976 juke moves. Shout outs to Brian Harrion and the way he jukes. That should be hesitated. 1977. Franco Harris' little brother. All right, y'all. Appreciate it. Thank you for rocking with your boy. Top billing to ya.